Review, Citi Breakfast Show. My name is Bernard. Bless, an interactive show. Let's hear from you. 054-998-6996. You can send a voice note as well. We're looking at the newspaper shortly. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
We understand the excitement and preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. The chop box, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly a quick and more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Your hands go work.
Amen.
Your name go open doors.
Amen.
You self you be a boss.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
You self flesh to cover bone.
Amen.
And you born twins.
Amen.
All the things you need you get.
Amen.
The whole story.
Amen.
That will be powerful.
Yeah. Amen. You put your
earlier you play Fahutu Nasu
I know you like that song.
Yes. Fahutu Nasu no beya mao.
Fahutu Nasu no beya obinye. Fahutu Nasu no beya.
Why do you like I was playing the song because of you. I know you like that song. But this is the continuation. You know? This one, the hustle will come to pass. Yeah, because people are doing all kinds of hustle. Yeah. So Timmy Dakolo. What I say, your name go open doors. You know, they'll call and say, who is it? Oh, this is. Are you sent it?
Yes,
okay,
then
May your name open doors.
Amen.
May your name open doors.
When you call it Buema,
Father Bayila.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we need more songs like this. That cheers up for the day. Today is the 19th. It's a Wednesday. Already 2024, half of it is finished.
Charlie, like joke.
Charlie.
It's not recently we no get money for Christmas.
But since we say the year is tough, let it go quick. Since the year is difficult, let it go quick. Let it come and pass quick. So that 2025 may bring good tidings. Let's start with the graphic.
The Daily Graphic says this morning, reversing external aid dependency, prioritize higher education, load Paul Boateng to African leaders. Also on the front page, economic growth 4.7% in the first quarter of this year. Now, demonstrators are urging President to halt sale of Snit hotels, led by Okujetu Ablakwa yesterday, and EcoBank and Graphic foster stronger partnership.
The Chronicle newspaper, suit against IGP AG. Chief Inspector gets bloody nose in court. Judge says he cannot compel police administration to grant amnesty promotions. And Legon Dawn charges Ghana to focus on export market. AG digs into military background of Jakpa and Afria Kotolu's mom.
Let me take you to the Daily Guide this morning. 2.37 million euro ambulance case. Jakpa sent ages 68 WhatsApp messages. Also, this morning we're told woman kills mother over witchcraft. This is heartbreaking. And BOG justifies GN Bank's license revocation. Elsewhere, we're told the courts have thrown out a suit against the IGP over promotion.
The Herald newspaper, GRA workers angry with new boss for unilaterally handing over tax mobilization due to Indians. Police injure protesters against sale of Snit hotels to NPP cronies. Majority leader commends energy minister for navigating economic crisis. State witness accused of concealing crucial evidence in Opuni trial. And Saul case, judge unhappy with EC lawyers' persistent absence.
The Ghanaian publisher says this morning, Snit sale of 60% shares in 6 hotels. The facts behind a yet-to-be concluded deal. Also, Lee beneficiaries beg government for payment. And Minister Lord's gallop. Intervention has improved learning outcomes.
The new finder, economy grows by 4.7% in first quarter, driven by industry and services sectors. And Demo Rock sale of 60% shares in Snit hotels. World Bank approves $260 million for Ghana's energy sector. Help solve Ghana's economic woes. PK Amoabing to business executives.
The $260 million story makes the front page of the Custodian newspaper this morning. So I'll take you to some other stories. Ghana wins seat on Development Bank board. Comes with a photograph of Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. Also on the front page this morning. Mails Nana built UGMC, not Mahama. Miracles Abuaje is quoted here saying, Magdan urges Africans to own logistics and shipping sector.
Daily Post this morning, massive corruption at Tema Port between 2020 and 2024 uncovered as clearing agents and importers team up with customs officers to defraud the state of billions of dollars. Ghanaians rattle government with hands off our hotels demo as panicky police officers fire tear gas and release pepper spray on demonstrators.
Let me take you to some other stories. Newspapers this morning. The Informer says, don't depend on aid. British lawmaker advises Ghana for watching there in the news. Also, groups appeal to government over payment of LEAP grants. And also in this issue, we won't call off the strike unless, this is according to medical lab workers.
The Inquisitor this morning, IGP Konkonsa tape probe. Dark spots on committee's work as it became evidence gagging committee.
Why is the media changing the name of this?
I don't understand.
This noble committee.
I don't understand. Konkonsa tape probe committee.
It's been long. Why are they not releasing the report? They should make the report available. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Other stories: $12 billion agreement signed for first phase of Petroleum Hub project. Ahafo Nkasemu resident demand Newmont support for community mining. Iyoko boss challenges GAF CSC graduates and former BCM Ghana workers want justice.
The Republic Press goes after Ablakwa, says Ablakwa discredited again over Rock City losses claims. Also, AG corners Jakpa as he admits hiding portions of WhatsApp message from court. And then IGP's accuser flawed as court rejects automatic promotion case. I don't know why sometimes we just slant the headlines like this. Either flawed.
Everybody is looking for agenda.
Oh, Charlie.
So you must read between the lines. So when you are reading, take new glasses.
So let's see how Daily Searchlight puts it. It says ambulance trial, Jakpa grilled over whopping 68 texts to Dame. Interior Ministry to crack down on unauthorized private security uniforms, and government backtracks on health insurance for non-Ghanaian resident visitors. Health Ministry here. G-Tech ready to facilitate the teaching and learning of German language. Professor Jinapo is speaking, and we are implementing initiatives to ensure inclusive education. Minister speaking.
The new publisher says Ken's final decision. I'm backing Baumia. The two of them are here on the front page. Kennedy Ejapong and Mahamudu Baumia. Also, John Mahama still reminding Ghanaians of his incompetence. This according to a writer, Edmond Che.
The Accra Times, backbone to political parties, accept and support the 2024 winner for the development of Ghana, and the forgotten story of Gregory Afoko, a clear case of human rights abuse as he continues to move in and out of court with a swollen upper arm. The judge who granted him bail in 2021 was transferred to Ho.
Let me take you to the BNFT this morning. GDP surges by 4.7% in the first quarter of 2024, driven by mining and technology. Also on the front page, delay in leave payments deepens hardship for vulnerable citizens. And then also something here, $12 billion in petroleum hub deal struck. And we're told that European lotteries grant observer
this story
status
came from yesterday.
Okay.
CitiNewsroom.com, a few headlines. NDC unveils their 2024 campaign team. Fifi Kwete named campaign coordinator. Meanwhile, he says next NDC government will prosecute corrupt MPP officials to deter others. Kufuor tells you to be kingmakers in December polls. Caleb read this earlier in the news. Health Ministry's actions appalling, according to striking lab workers. And then Parliament summons Interior Minister over war killings. Those are some of the headlines on CitiNewsroom.com. Meanwhile, locked up investment holders forum to resume picketing today. And Ghana has lost ground in economic transformation. Dr. K.Y. Amoako speaking yesterday. Major Online lead story this morning. Ablakwa just need to adopt Labadi Beach Hotel's turnaround strategy for troubled assets. And other stories, the youth are kingmakers and must participate in election 2024. This is President Kufuor launching a program yesterday. Meanwhile, 2024 Corruption Perception Index and Akufo-Addo will be the worst, according to Martin Bebu. If you go to a few more places, if you go to Star FM, a couple of stories there, Ghana drops from C to D in World Bank's latest assessment of independence of audit institutions. And then the country is also likely to miss its 15% end of year inflation target despite the recent slowdown. So on the economic side, not many portions of good news. Now, two stories of interest globally. North Korea's president says he backs Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Okay.
So BBC is reporting Kim backs Ukraine invasion as Putin visits North Korea. That's BBC. France 24 says North Korea's Kim pledges full support to Russia and Ukraine in Pyongyang talks with Putin. Then South Africa's coalition government. Very interesting headline from News 24. Is it Ramaphosa or Ramaflop? Will South Africa see Ramaphosa unleashed or the same old? That's the front page question. The question of the day. Ramaphosa, Ramaphosa or Ramaflopful? Well, interesting. Meanwhile, the president of Ghana is speaking at a summit in Switzerland where he's still criticizing the Russia-Ukraine war as affecting African countries and food supply.
I see.
And now that the North Koreans are supporting the Russians, I don't think they're going to... Of course, the president of Ghana asked for the war to end.
Yeah.
But it looks like President Putin has gotten more energy visiting his friend Kim in North Korea. So that war there, Let's talk about the economy. It grew by 4.7%.
Yes. So
what does that mean for our pocket?
Well, so the story makes both the BNFT and the graphic front page. So let me take you to the BNFT version because they are more into this specialized sector. And the story by Joshua Walasi Amlanu and Ebenezer Chike J. Njoku. They say this morning that the economy grew by 4.7% year on year in the first quarter of 2024, significantly outpacing the 3.8% growth recorded in the same period last year, according to provisional data from the Ghana Statistical Service. Now, this performance underscored the resilience and dynamism of key sectors, positioning the nation on a firm recovery trajectory. Now, on a seasonally adjusted basis, GDP, when accounting for inflation, increased by 1.2% from the fourth quarter of 2023, building on the previous period's 1% quarter-on-quarter growth. Now, this steady expansion signals sustained economic momentum driven by strategic sectoral performances. What
We are reading English.
I don't know.
Well, there are two issues here that I'll bring to you. Ghana, even though growth is improving, we are still likely to miss our inflation target of 15%. Statistical Service last Wednesday announced the country's inflation for May to have declined to 23.3, a 26-month record low, and the second consecutive slowdown in the rate after experiencing fluctuations since November. But while this hints of signs of possible economic rebound, the country still faces a Herculean task in meeting its end-of-year inflation target of 15% and falling within the Bank of Ghana's predicted close-of-year bandwidth between 13 and 17%. So that's a story on Star FM.
In the meantime, the cedi troubles continue, depreciates 21% to the dollar as $1 goes for 15.70 Ghana cedi. So the Ghana cedi lost 3.88% in value to the US dollar last week on the spot market, increasing its year-to-date depreciation to 21.20%. This follows the strengthening of the US dollar and renewed local corporate foreign exchange demand. It, however, started the week June 18, 2024, unchanged, selling at 15.70 at the Forex bureaus. The U.S. Federal Reserve signaled just a single policy rate cut this year, contrary to market expectations of 2 cuts.
Now, stay with the revenue side. There are two stories. There's a port story, and there's also a GRA story somewhere.
That's
since
right.
we are talking economy.
Exactly. So, massive corruption at Tema Port between 2020 and 2024 uncovered as clearing agents and importers team up with customs officers to defraud the state of billions of dollars. So a Daily Post undercover team, which has been investigating acts of fraud against the state at the Tema Port since 2020, have completed their investigations. The investigations have uncovered a huge, well-organized cartel of corrupt clearing agents and importers who have teamed up with corrupt customs officials to defraud the state of billions of dollars. Now, these clearing agents, importers, and customs officers have been milking the state of much needed revenue. The mode of operation of the cartel includes under declaration and wrong description of imported items, as well as under invoicing and change of names of country of origin of the imported items through such documents such as bills of lading, invoices, packing list, valuation reports, and declaration forms. So we are told that some of the corrupt customs officials who have been conniving with these importers and clearing agents are stationed at the MPS3, GIT, Fishing Harbour, and REFA, where goods are examined. So
why don't we use technology to deal with this?
So Daily Post,
people are using, nations are using blockchain to manage these processes.
Well, the newspaper has
Daily Post says we should watch out for the full name of list of the importers and customs officials.
Let me take you to the Informer newspaper and the Daily Graphic. Two stories from the same person, different angles. So the Informer newspaper, for instance, says don't depend on aid while they are stealing the money. Will be depending on aid. Now the story says Ghanaian-born British lawmaker Lord Paul Boateng has urged the country to move away from the over-reliance on foreign aid and rather pursue the path of independence. Now, he observed Ghana, and for that matter, Africa, will not experience any significant development if they continue to depend on foreign aid. Now, there's a quote here that says, those great powers who have fed and continue to feed on Africa's resources with their willing collaborators have pulled Africa down in an impoverished and conflicted posture.
So that was one angle. What's the second
if you
angle?
go to the other one, it deals with education. It says reversing external aid dependency, prioritize higher education.
All right.
Lord Paul Boateng to African leaders. A member of the UK House of Lords, Lord Paul Boateng, has challenged Africa's emerging leaders to place premium on higher education to break the vicious cycle of dependency on external.
All right.
Still on the economy, GRA workers are angry at their new boss. Workers of the Ghana Revenue Authority are expressing frustration and anger towards their recently appointed Commissioner General Julius Siam for unilaterally approving a contentious deal with Tata Consultancy Services and its Ghana-based partners IPMC. Now, the agreement is set to take effect in 2016 and will transfer control of Ghana's domestic tax mobilization to the Indian company, although she will not be in office. GRA insiders indicate that Julius Siam, appointed with the backing of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, traveled to India alone to sign the contract with Tata. She subsequently instructed the staff of the Domestic Tax Revenue Department to cooperate with Tata when they began installing their software. Currently, domestic tax mobilization is managed by a Ghanaian company. So she finalized, according to the report, the contract with Tata and IPMC despite previous objections from former board and Public Procurement Authority PPA, the Central Tender Review Committee, and we are told that these are coming on the background of the SML challenges and all of that.
Oh, great. Let me remind you about a number of labor-related stories or some agitation. So if you go to page 26 of the Daily Graphic, demonstrators urge president to halt sale of SNIT hotels. Now, Get Rid Anchor reports that a large number of protesters embarked on a peaceful demonstration on the streets of Accra yesterday to press home their demand for the halting of the sale of 60% stake in 4 hotels owned by the National Social Security and National Insurance Trust to Rock City Hotel, owned by the Food and Agriculture Minister Brian A. Champon. The Honorable Kujeto Ablakwa led that demonstration. Now, if you go to page 6 of the Informer newspaper, we're told that we will not call off the strike on.
No, let me deal with the Ablakwa one briefly. Okay. So on citinewsroom.com, Akufo-Addo will review petition and act appropriately. The presidency, Office of the President, received the petition from the protesters, led by Okujeto Ablakwa, Deputy Chief of Staff at the office, Prof. Emmanuel Adumwa Bosman, who received the petition on Tuesday, said the President will go through it and respond appropriately. We are delighted to pick it because it's part of the exercise of our democratic rights guaranteed under Chapter 5 of the Constitution. We are also grateful that this process and demonstration has taken place without any negative outcomes. So I have received this petition on behalf of the President and I'll submit it, and I can assure you that it will be looked into and appropriate measures taken.
In the meantime, though, the Republic has some response to Kujeto Ablakwa, saying it has documents that show that he's misleading the people of Ghana. Well, I mean, that's what, if you're interested in that story, grab a copy of the Republic newspaper. But this story about medical lab workers, that's on page... let me see.
So what this means is that if you go to any government facility and the doctor treats you and refers you to the lab, chances are you have to go to a private lab to do your test, because you can't have a test done in the hospital.
Would some of the people who do locum in private hospitals, or private labs, they will go and work there, Mom?
No.
You know, many of them.
But of course, this is lab technicians.
Yes.
So they can choose to do what they want to do in their free time. But in the government facility, it won't
while
work.
They are striking. I'm just asking. Just okay.
What's your problem?
Yeah, so they say they will
What's the story?
So the story says the leadership of the Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union has said that they will not call off the strike. Now, the spokesperson who declined to speak on camera said until government agrees to consider the demands, they will not sit to negotiate.
Some court cases, the Jakpa case as well as the Gregory Afoko matter.
Yes, Accra Times this time, page number 3. Forgotten story of Gregory Afoko, a clear case of human rights abuse. Question filed from Accra Times desk. Mr. Gregory Afoko is currently going through a third trial at the High Court Accra for the same offence he was alleged to have committed in 2015. His first trial was by His Lordship Justice L.L. Mensah, Court of Appeal judge who sat as a High Court judge. That was a trial that was almost done, and the Attorney General filed a nolle prosequi. The Minister of Information at the time, Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah, announced in the media that government had curtailed the trial to restart same because another suspect had been arrested and that the matter would be put before a dedicated judge. What he meant by a dedicated judge was not explained. Justice L.L. Mensah had refused a bail application by Gregory's lawyers. Indeed, a second trial started under another justice of the Court of Appeal, Her Ladyship Justice Melly Wood, sitting as an additional judge. So it's basically saying that this is taking too long.
I mean, yes, this thing, somebody died,
unfortunately. It's 2016 or something.
2015, actually.
2015.
Yeah,
so next year it will be 10 years.
Yes, I mean, look, get a judge, dedicate about 3 months or so for this whole thing to be heard and determined. And let's move on with our lives. It's not fair to the family and also the person involved.
Committee report on leak IGP tape laid before Parliament. So this one is without any slant. Almost all the headlines are their own angles. The Citi report is basically saying the ad hoc committee set up by the Speaker of Parliament to probe the leak audio containing a discussion on the alleged plot to remove the IGP has been laid before Parliament. So this is a no frills, no angle. The committee, which was chaired by the Buakwa South MP Samuel Tachia, was tasked with investigating the leak audio when some senior police officers were held on conversation with former North Regional Chairman of the MPP, Bugri Nabu, planning the removal of the IGP. So the committee have laid their report before the House. Simple. Everything else you are reading is somebody's opinion.
Okay. Finally, Bernard, woman kills mother over witchcraft. This is a heartbreaking story. 55-year-old woman, according to the Daily Guide, Joyce Boateng, has allegedly killed her biological mother, Efiasapo,
for what?
76, at Ibuakwa Asene Manso near Kumasi. On Monday dawn, the suspect, without provocation, was said to have stabbed her mother multiple times with a sharp knife and left her in a pool of blood. And after committing the heinous crime, Joyce reportedly left her dead in a locked room and raced to a nearby cemetery where she tried to end her own life, but to no avail. According to reports, a certain man of God, which is usually what we're told, had prophesied to Joyce that her mother was a witch and responsible for the difficulties that she had been facing in life.
Wow, look. Now let me end with this. Function Executive Committee of NDC has announced its national campaign team led by Fifi Fiabi, the General Secretary. Other people involved are the chairman who is heading the steering committee. The full list is on the website, including Dr. Joseph Yamin, Richard Koshiga. Yes, who's the campaign coordinator. And a few others like Sami Jemfi, Georgia Pariado, and Professor Joshua Alabi.
How about, the Abraham Amaliba and Adaud?
They are also inside.
They should be inside.
They are somewhere.
If they are not inside, me, I want.
You agree?
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Do you have a game-changing and innovative business idea or project that can impact the society? This is your moment. Total Energies presents the 4th edition of the Startup of the Year Challenge. This year, we are looking for 3 winners. The best entrepreneur, also called the InnovUp winner. The best project or innovative business idea that exemplifies the principle of recycling and minimizing waste, also called the Cycle Up winner. And the best project that promotes or relates to sustainable and affordable energies, also called the Power Up winner. And that's not all. 4 additional projects in the Power Up category will be selected by an international jury. Don't wait any longer. Apply at www.startupper.totalenergies.com for a chance to win financial support, professional mentorship, and a spotlight for your project. Terms and conditions apply.
Citi Business News with Nilati Latte. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. Coming up this morning, phase 1 of Petroleum Hub project to create over 700,000 employment opportunities and boost Ghana's energy sector. Also, value of Ghana's economy increases by more than 50 billion cedis, driven again by the dominance of the services sector. Plus, speakers of the 3rd Citi Business Festival Roundtable on the creative economy push for increased government investment to revamp the creative industry. My name is Nilati Latte. Many thanks indeed for joining us. It's midweek. Details of our stories now. Let's begin from the energy sector because the industry is poised for significant growth with an anticipated creation of approximately 780,000 direct and indirect jobs through the construction of the Petroleum Hub project. To this end, the government has taken substantial steps by signing a $12 billion agreement for the first phase of the project.
The Petroleum Hub project, estimated to cost about $60 billion, will encompass 3 refineries, 5 petrochemical plants, storage tanks with a capacity of 10 million cubic meters, jetties, port infrastructure, and other ancillary facilities such as transportation, utilities, settlement, and network systems. Located on a 20,000 acres of land in the Jomoro municipality of the western region of Ghana, the project will be executed in 3 phases between 2024 and 2036. The first phase will focus on developing a 300,000 barrels per day refinery, a 90,000 barrels per day petrochemical plant, a 3 million cubic meter storage facility, and jetty and port infrastructure. Upon completion, the Petroleum Hub project is expected to significantly bolster Ghana's economy. It will increase the presence of major international oil and storage companies, create regional trading champions, and encourage joint ventures between local and international companies, facilitating knowledge transfer and wealth creation.
Now, the value of the economy at constant prices in the first quarter of 2024 stood at approximately 266 billion Ghana cedis compared to the 212 billion Ghana cedis recorded during the same period in 2023. This growth was primarily driven by the dominance of the services sector, which contributed about 114 billion Ghana cedis, accounting for 45.6% of GDP at the basic prices. Already in the 2024 budget statement and economic policy, government anticipates that Ghana's economy will surpass 1 trillion cedis in 2024. Here's more.
The 4.7% growth recorded in the first quarter of 2024 marks the highest in the past 9 quarters. In comparison, the first quarter of 2022 saw a growth of 3.9%, which dipped to 3.1% in the first quarter of 2023, before rising to 4.7% now. This growth rate is significant, especially considering the World Bank's affirmation of Ghana's 2024 growth rate at 2.9%. According to the quarterly GDP data, the industry sector showed the highest growth, rebounding from a contraction in the previous quarter to achieve a growth rate of 6.8%. A noteworthy aspect in agriculture is the cocoa subsector, which contracted by 20.2% in the first quarter of 2024, marking the most severe contraction in over a decade. Between 2017 quarter 1 and 2022 quarter 3, the cocoa subsector did not contract. However, it has contracted 4 times in the last 6 quarters.
More on the economy because economic watchers have expressed optimism about the government's chances of securing the next tranche of credit facility from the International Monetary Fund. The Bretton Woods institution has scheduled its board meeting for June 28, 2024 to review Ghana's bailout program and potentially approve $360 million for the country after assessing the IMF staff's report on Ghana's program review. If satisfied with Ghana's performance, the board will proceed to approve the next tranche. Speaking to Citi Business News, lecturer at the Finance Department at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Patrick Esumino opined that the government should not face any challenges in securing the next tranche.
Yes, that's what I would expect. At the moment, I don't see any outstanding impediment. When the IMF staff released the SLA, the staff level agreement for the second review, they made it clear that we need to get the MOU with the bilateral partners, the official creditor committee, before the agreement will go to the board for approval. So I think once we have the MOU, I don't see any additional impediment in the way. I expect that the IMF board will approve.
Professor Patrick Esumino is lecturer at the Finance Department at the University of Ghana Business School. Now, during the third Citi Business Festival Roundtable discussion held on Tuesday on the theme Harnessing the Creative Economy for Development, key industry leaders called for increased government investment and strategic initiatives to revitalize Ghana's creative sector. The following report has more details.
Amy Appiah-Frimpong, the executive director of the National Theatre, emphasized the need for substantial government investment to rejuvenate the industry.
New York is a classic case. After 9/11 or even after the COVID, they pumped a lot of money into Broadway because if Broadway is down, hotels suffer, restaurants suffer, parking lots, everybody. So it is incumbent on the government to invest in this sector so that we can get the numbers that Frank was talking about. The numbers don't happen if you don't invest.
Nana Asasi, the Secretary General of the National Folklore Board, discussed the commercial potential of Ghana's folklore.
Ghana's folklore is vested in the President of Ghana, and the Folklore Board has the mandate to administer it on behalf of all the people of Ghana, under the auspice of the Office of the President. Now, when you take your Adinkra symbols, what do we use them for? They're put in cloth, they're used in murals and all of that. However, somebody chooses to use it as a corporate branding material. That way you're using your folklore out of its customary context. Something needs to come to the Folklore Board. By Folklore Board, I mean to the people of Ghana.
Film producer Danny Dama advocated for expanding the existing infrastructure, particularly the National Theatre, to serve as a comprehensive model for the creative sector.
Definitely need cinemas. And we don't need a few cinemas, we need a lot of cinemas. So if you look at what we are all talking about, we're talking about 4 different, he's talking about music, he's talking about performance, poetry, she's talking about ensemble performance, theatre, and I'm talking about film, right? All 4 of us need some kind of venue to monetize in. The National Theatre should be a prime example of what actually works in Ghana.
Frank Obno-Wusu, acting deputy CEO of Creative Art Agency, urged creatives across the country to actively engage with relevant domains.
In terms of funding, primarily creative industries are supposed to, first of all, move from the known to the unknown. Where we can easily access funding is through the Creative Arts Fund. Before we even look at other areas, there are sources of fund that we are mandated to go in for. Grants and all those things, which are supposed to be coming from, independent private partnerships globally and internally. But the first point of call is the Creative Arts Fund.
Edna Agnes Boache with that report. And today on the on-air series of the Citi Business Festival, we hear from world-acclaimed producer, writer and film director Danny Dama, who believes that by embracing a cultural heritage, nurturing local content and leveraging digital platforms, Ghana can carve out a distinct identity and establish its place among the creative powerhouses of the world. He cites how Ghana can benefit if deliberate efforts are made to ensure the creative industry becomes a key driver of economic development.
Collectively, there's no conscious effort to say we are, now there is, but there's no conscious effort to say we are trying to create cultural power, like soft power based on our cultural prominence. We have a very rich culture. Everybody globally recognizes it. I mean, there's no history book you would read, there's no cultural book you would read that doesn't mention, or anything about Africa that does not mention cultures in Ghana.
Danny Dama is a world-acclaimed producer, writer, and film director. The full conversation with Danny Dama on the topic, The Business of Film, airs later this morning at 9 a.m. on the Citi Breakfast Show. The Citi Business Festival 2024 is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV in partnership with Absa Bank and is sponsored by MTN Business, Gesal, AMG Fertilizers, Insano Limited, and Agri Impact Limited. Now, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, has established an endowment fund aimed at ensuring a sustainable source of funding for its operations in a bid to address current resource challenges. Named the CSIR Science for Impact Fund, the initiative is set to support innovative, demand-driven research and developmental projects within communities through technology transfer. The CSIR Fund has set an ambitious target of raising $20 million under the slogan Supporting Science, Transforming Communities. Speaking at the launch of the fund, the Director General of CSIR Ghana, Professor Paul Bonsu, urged Ghanaians to rally behind the initiative.
Started thinking about this when we started developing our new strategic plan, right from about 2018-2019. And then with the DG's vision, with the vision that I put forward, we strengthened it. And we needed to get staff's buy-in. So we engaged staff. They proposed that maybe staff can contribute 1% of their basic salary. Went round, we spoke with them, different groups, and then it came out that there's overwhelming support for that level of contribution. At least 80% of our staff have given indication, and some are contributing via the Momo platforms, some are even contributing cash into their account. It's a really good time for us to get the public also to support the fund.
That was Director General for the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research Ghana, Professor Paul Bonsu. On the forex market today, the dollar is selling at 15 cedi 70 pesos. The British pound could be sold to you at 19 cedi 70 pesos. The euro going for 16 cedis 50 pesos. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil, and Access Bank. My name is Nila Tilati. Do have a good business day.
They say a butterfly flapping its wings in Accra can cause a tsunami in Bangkok. So what if your factory in Insawam could shake up the stock market in Hong Kong? What if your business in Elmina could affect fish production in Norway? What if your refinery in Tema could affect the price of petrol in Moscow? Well, now it can because you have access to the bank with the largest number of customers in Africa. Access to our global branch network.
Bonjour. Good morning.
Our robust asset base and an unparalleled digital infrastructure. So go ahead and flap your wings wherever you are, because with us you have access to an entire world of possibilities. Access more than banking.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
It's 7:15 and kickoff is coming up next. Before that, business news brought to you by Access Bank. Benefit from instant payments across the continent. When you send money in CDs, it will be received in any other currency by the recipient. Go to our website ghana.accessbankplc.com or call toll free 0800 004400. Access Bank, more than banking. And MTN Free After One is now here helping you talk for 1 whole hour uninterrupted while paying for only the first minute of every 10 minutes you talk. Which means for every 10 minutes you talk within the hour, you pay for only the first minute. And you're able to talk for 60 minutes straight with no interruptions. Subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra today. Just dial star 550 hash. That's star 550 hash and follow the prompts.
Kofi Kenyatta, you hard guy. Is that what Bob
No, the Takra people, they have their own tree. So he says, if they say belle, took belle, you are fooling. So more belle.
So that's what they say, giant belle.
So we are doing belle. But the way you say, if you are not from the, you won't get it. They have their own language.
Three candidates.
More belle. You can listen to the song and don't know what he's saying. So basically saying that sometimes they just fool around, fooling about. Income is brought to you by Lesheho. The fixed deposit solution is your best option, helping you invest, making your money work harder for you so you can watch your wealth grow. Call 027-004-0799. Send WhatsApp on 027-004-0733. Lesheho, let's improve life. Kickoff is also brought to you by Shell. With over 100 years of innovation, you won't just be buying any fuel, but the most advanced fuels which save you money in the long run. Shell fuels with Dynaflex are most advanced, designed to prevent deposit build-up and keep your engine clean and protected. Drive into any Shell station today and fuel up your car with Shell fuels designed for engine efficiency and performance. Gabi Affair is here with the news. Good morning, Gabi.
Good morning, Bernard. Welcome aboard to kick off on the CBS with me, Gabi Affair. Coming up in the next 10 minutes, it's MTN FA Cup weekend before Quatano V in Sorshman FC at the Legon Stadium. We'll tell you more in a bit. Plus, some athletics have got news from Finland regarding Benjamin Azamati in the Paris Olympic qualifying event. All of that plus some tennis news coming up pretty shortly. All right, many thanks for choosing Citi 97.3. We start out the news with display of Ghanaian descent, and England and Manchester United youngster Kobbie Mainoo has opened up on his mind state when he faced the decision of picking between representing Ghana, that's the Black Stars, or the Three Lions of England. Now, the 19-year-old was born in England to Ghanaian parents and enjoyed a breakout season, and United manager Eric Ten Hag making appearances of 32 in our competition and scoring 5 goals during that campaign.
Obviously proud of my Ghanaian heritage, and there was speculations and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, it's always been a dream to play for England, so I'm happy to be here.
So that was never sort of a serious option for you, I guess?
Considered, but I wanted to play for England.
Thank you. Henry Winter.
All right, so that's England midfielder Kobbie Mainoo speaking there. We had Kumasi and Kotoko have officially parted ways with Black Stars goalkeeper Danlad Ibrahim and 10 other players after the end of the 2023-24 Ghana Premier League season. Now, Danlad was part of the Black Stars squad for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, where the team faced a group stage exit and coach Otuado. Now, reacting to that is the club's head coach Prosper Nate Ogum and the 11 players released by Kotoko.
Yeah, I think it was due to their individual performances. I think individually they were not there, and again I think the senior players or the old players who were supposed to guide them didn't give them that enough mentorship. What do you call it?
Sort of orientation and guidance.
Yes, enough mentorship, feelings. around them, and I think that actually affected us, and this created some sort of imbalance in the team because, like if you look at even the German national team for now, it's a blend of experience and inexperience, old and the young. So basically, that was what we expected that, especially those who have seen it before in the team were going to.
All right, so that's Kotoko's head coach Prosper Nate Ogum speaking. After the club released 11 players yesterday, they announced that via their Twitter accounts, now X, that those players are not going to take part in next season's campaign. Well, to some other stuff, and for the first time ever, the MTN FA Cup final will feature an all-female team of match officials overseeing the intense battle between Bofokwatano and Nswarchuman. The main referee will be FIFA referee Rita Boateng and Kanta, who recently returned from the CAF Elite Referees course in Egypt, and she'll be supported by FIFA referees Alice Farouzia Chakule and Patricia Chira, who serve as assistant referees 1 and 2, respectively. More on the MTN FA Cup later in our subsequent bulletins. We stay with women's football in Kenya. Zambia and Nigeria have been confirmed as the 3 African nations that will represent the continent at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup later this year. The 8th edition of the global event is scheduled to take place from October 16 to November 3 in the Dominican Republic, and that will feature 3 African teams alongside England, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Spain, the United States, Japan, Mexico, New Zealand, Poland, Korea DPR, and Korea Republic, and also host Dominican Republic. So all the best to the African countries. In athletics, Ghana's Benjamin Azamati ran a season's best of 10.14 seconds at the Pavonami Games in Finland. He finished 4th behind Canada's Andrew Di Grassi, who finished clocked 10.00, and Chitiru Ali of Italy 9.96, and Marcel Jacobs 9.92 in the 100-meter final, also from Italy. So it's a qualifying event for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, which starts in June. That's 26. Now let's get to Europe and start with this.
Of additional time. Conceição.
All right, so Francisco Conceição's 92nd minute goal ensured a winning start for Portugal as Roberto Martinez's side came from behind to beat Czech Republic 2-1. And Group F, 41-year-old defender Pepe became the oldest player in the competition's history, beating the record set by Hungary goalkeeper Gabor Kirali, age 40, in 2016 as part of the 3 centre-back defence. Here's Roberto Martinez, Portugal's head coach.
Yeah, I think that's a strength and a weakness in its own. If you don't use it well, you can become 26 individual trying to show what they can do. I think what is important today that we played a very good game. You look at the stats at the end of the game, it shows 70% possession. We had to defend very, very well. This Czech team, they had only 1 shot on target because we worked really hard. We had 13 corners, 0 for Czechia. So what it pleases me the most is that we were a team. Yes, of course, it's made of 26 individualistic players, but I think it shows the structure of formation in Portugal. I said it before, it's a country of 10 million, but we got a huge amount of players playing in the top 5 leagues. But what pleased me the most is the discipline.
All right, so that's Portugal's head coach Roberto Martinez speaking there. In Dortmund, teenager Ada Güler scored his European Championship debut as Turkey broke Georgia's hearts with a thrilling Group F victory. Turkey will look to make it 2 wins on the bounce on Saturday when they face Portugal, while Georgia will play Czech Republic. Later today, match day 2. Start from Group B. Croatia will kick us off at 1 p.m. against Albania. Later, 4 p.m. in Group A, host nation Germany take on Hungary in Stuttgart. Scotland will face Switzerland, and that'll close the day at 7 p.m. in Cologne. Here's Scotland captain Andy Robertson.
We gave the lads till night time to get over it, and then we moved on because, you know, in tournament football you have our next game round the corner, and we want to try and show up the way we believe that we can, the way we believe that Scotland can play, and, you know, I don't think we done that the other night. So we need to try and do that. We need to try and play to our strengths and, you know, try and play a lot better than what we did in pretty much every area, because I think, you know we didn't do our best in all positions on Friday, and, you know, hopefully that's different come.
All right, so that's Scotland captain Andy Robertson speaking ahead of tonight's clash against Switzerland at 7 p.m. In boxing, Anthony Joshua has revealed that he's close to confirming the opponent for his upcoming bouts. Now, Joshua, who once boxed so far in 2024 when he knocked out former UFC champion Francis Ngannou. In tennis, Novak Djokovic will compete at the Paris 2024 Olympics, and this summer will be his 5th Olympic appearance, having competed in every game since 2008. Djokovic won bronze at his first Olympics, but has lost third place match twice in 3 appearances since. So all the best to Novak Djokovic at the upcoming Paris Olympic Games. And that's it for Kickoff. For more sports stories, you can head to citisportsonline.com and on X at Citi Sports GH. Kickoff was proudly brought to you by Shell, Lachelle, and Zonda GH. My name is Gabby, your friend. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.
Different cars take different journeys. The strong ones build big cities that people thrive in. The agile ones take us to work there, so we can make a little chop chop. The dependable ones are always present in times of trouble. We salute what you do for Mother Ghana. The traditional ones keep society running. And then there are the flashy ones that keep our roads interesting. Oga, we salute you.
No matter your vehicle, every car loves Shell fuels because our most advanced fuels with Dynaflex technology are designed to prevent deposit buildup and keep your engine clean and protected. Fill up and give your car the love it needs for better journeys. Go well.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise. Austria number 1. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, let's go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, come to let's go. No matter your situation, come to let's go. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, hey, let's go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's go, we improve your life.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
We not say problem day, but you for chop life. Simply deposit cash in multiples of 500 Ghana cedis into your EcoBank account at your nearest branch, Express Point, or through EcoBank Mobile to win your share of over 1 million cedis in prizes in the EcoBank Million Gang promo, EMG. Be one of over 7,000 people to be rewarded. Hey my God. Yes, so over 7,000 people go chop soft life from May to July 31, 2024. Be an EcoBank customer or be square. Remember, every 500 Ghana cedi deposit earns you a point for the EcoBank Million Gang today. EMG. Deposit today and win your share of 1.2 million in cash and prizes. A better way to enjoy life. A better way. A better Africa. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
There's no price like the ShopRite price. That's why we are committed to bringing you lower prices on all the essentials you need. Like 1 kg Lily White Sugar, only 27 cedis, 99 pence worth. And 1 liter Crystal Valley Full Cream or Low-Fat Milk, just 24 cedis, 99 pence worth each. Never pay more than the ShopRite price. Prices valid until 23rd June, only at ShopRite.
What it? My shoe is my oba. Papa tofu. Na mi so be here scan. Na only scan here. Mama mi susie ni na aka mi tumu sa. Ma we so fashion na be no. E wo mo hihye mu no. Utimi di busuani a onimru 74 years. E be ka ho. Said the bear asem 2 said asem 2 million. We need to anka ho nsem. Sikefia mi tua no busu mi bia no. E so fashion no. Me from apɛ ina mo ba me moa ene se obi abo ma ba so yi be didi na eye na mfaso
Mr. Wakai say, Ora Boating, so I'm funny papa and share my way insurance no more. And come for to do when you Ayakai say, I bring be obey my way insurance no. What do boost your name up tobacco ever sheso? Everything I will yere, Ukunu, Umame, O papa, Unia, and now Oba, Nipa be our dinner back on or send it on one tiashi. Foul phone, net dial is *165 hash. Oh, MTN so says, Sia. Send you my way, cause no way.
It's not just a service station. It's a place you get more for every visit. It's not just a place to fill your tank. It's a place to fulfill your cravings. From chicken to chocolate, caramel or the tasty latte. It's not just a place to service your car. It's the perfect place to wash your ride. It's a place where convenience, love, friendship, joy, and laughter assemble. Because it all starts at Shell. Visit Shell today and enjoy a wide array of services and offers under one roof. It starts at Shell.
This is your daily dose of literacy. Whenever you read a good book, somewhere in the world, a door opens to allow in more light. A quote from Vera Nazarian.
This is brought to you by the Literacy Challenge 2024. The Literacy Challenge 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV, supported by Citi FM, and is sponsored by Ghana National Gas Company, Alive Soap, Fortune Spread, and Rebate Biscuits by M4 Foods.
Life is a stage and we're all players, playing the supporting role.
The title of my poem is
Playing with rhythm. Playing the lead. Playing to win. Playing with gusto. Playing for the sheer thrill until the curtain falls. Because every journey begins with play. Kickstart yours with MTN. So, what are we doing today? MTN.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
City 97.3. More variety.
(7:36) is the 80th birthday of Madame Margaret Nana Adjoa Ewo. She is the best mother and grandmother anyone could pray for. Many more healthy years ahead. From Nana Adjoa, Nana Jemfua, Mamiefua, and your children. To Madame Margaret Nana Adjoa Ewo, celebrating your 80th year today. Happy birthday to a special person, Mr. Nathan Amoyao Asamoah of the United Nations Capital Development Fund and Major Nathaniel Amoyao Asamoah of the Ghana Armed Forces. I think they're twins.
Yep, Nathan and Nathaniel.
May God grant them abundant grace and double blessings as they are from their wives and family to the coolest twins in town.
Wow.
So one is with the UN Capital Development Fund and the other is with the Ghana Armed Forces.
Amazing.
Nathan and Nathaniel Asamoah. Hello Bernard, please wish my brother Prophet Ike Nyako of Mighty Jesus Mission a glorious birthday. May the Lord bless and keep him, more anointing from Noamote inside Great High State Station. Wishing Pastor Fred and team a happy birthday. Actually, this is to their daughter Shilana Ajele Krufio, a special happy birthday. Today is the 19th. And also Lloyd Alote, or that dear Don Lalas. Yeah, that's my mate. This from your wife to you, Lloyd Alote, aka Lalas. Happy birthday to you from your wife.
Lalas was on football.
Yes, US American football.
Wish my dad, Mr. Humphrey Kwame Anansa, aka Bye Bye, a happy 72nd birthday. Yeah, I know him. So it's called Mr. Humphrey Anansa.
I see.
AKA Bye Bye. Yeah. The man is already 72.
Oh, cool.
I've known this man for many years. We used to go to church at the same place.
Okay.
Adonai Chapel, Medina. So may God bless him and continue to keep him from the daughter Esinam listening in Nkwanta. They used to call him Brother Bye Bye.
Brother Bye.
You know they call you brother.
This one says,
yes.
It's the 80th birthday of Madame Margaret Nana Adjoa Ewo. She's the best mother and granny anybody could pray for, from Nana Adjoa, Nana Jimfea, Mamifua, and your children.
Okay.
All right, this one says, kindly wish my daughter Barbara Nana Ekia Maeye Sapon, First Knowledge Montessori. 5 years ago, you brought joy into our home. The message is coming from her parents. And I have this one from my mate, Koko Usuewa. He's wishing his wife, Helen Mamiesi Bochem, and the message is, I love you, happy birthday, my sugar plum. He sent a bit of a long one, but yeah, we had to compress and condense.
Okay, so, and then also, but let me use this opportunity to celebrate a leading light from the Volta region, and indeed from the Republic of Ghana, an ardent listener of our station, and a young woman who is making it big on the international stage, Dr. Vera Haibo from Hokwe. Be back there. I met Vera when she was doing her national service in Parliament with the Honorable Emmanuel Bejira, Member of Parliament for the whole West constituency. Very, very, very aspirational, a strong woman, determined to make it at the highest levels of the academic ladder. And today, all the toils, all the struggles, the sleepless nights.
She's graduating?
Charlie, she's graduating with her PhD in law.
Is it?
Yeah.
From University of where?
Glasgow. And it's
PhD in law.
Yeah, PhD in law.
Hey.
And
no, it's not
I see. And it's a very inspiring story because I am privy to some of the difficulties she went through, having to secure scholarship, the challenges at the scholarship secretariat, having to survive in a foreign land with very little or no support at all. All of that coming together for good as the Lord God has promised. So I'm proud of her. We are all celebrating her, the people of Beaver.
Listener on the show.
Exactly.
I'm curious. So to get a PhD in law, would you have to go to law school?
No, not necessarily.
Or you just
it's an academic area.
So you study the law from an academic perspective.
Exactly.
And some of the people who lecture lawyers are not necessarily lawyers.
Yes.
It's an academic discipline too.
Yeah, that's right.
I see.
That's right.
So,
That's
yeah.
right. So yeah,
happy. What is it? Happy graduation.
Yeah, that's right. I saw her a short while ago in her. She's representing the. Yeah, that's right. And wearing the beads from the Hokwe area. And it's beautiful.
It's wonderful.
It's beautiful.
Congratulations.
Yes.
All right, now we're going to get into a few announcements. I'm going to take you back to the demonstration. Started from the Labadi Beach Hotel to the Jubilee House where they made the presentation. There are a lot of important questions being raised by the protesters, which we'll be delving into on the show today. We're also picking some roads. Now, the minister went to a few places to. There are two things. In one area, he re-awarded the contract. And then he also reordered that work should commence.
I think he was standing and re-awarded the contract.
I'll explain that to you. So, there are some roads that have delayed. So, in one particular area, maybe I'm not saying this right.
Okay.
So, there's a particular road called Amasama to Kojo Ashon. A new contractor has been given the road to do. Because I think the old contractor either abandoned site or wasn't able to do the road.
Was there proper termination of the contract?
We'll find out all of that.
Okay.
And Asenso Boachi also instructs contractors to repair deteriorating Nungwa interchange because apparently the road project has stalled for over a year because of the IMF program.
So which contractors are being instructed? The ones already on the contract?
That's another good question that I will come to before the show ends.
Okay.
So those are the two key issues I want to bring to the table.
And the contractors working on the Pokwase to the Nsawam Road, I beg them in the name of God, please. But no, the thing is just it's creating heartaches, BP for people who live along that corridor. I live along that corridor, and I know what I'm talking about. We cannot be doing construction to improve the lives of people and yet subject them to the kind of toils and stress that they go through.
Is it not called suffer to gain?
No, you see, yes, it's okay if we suffer small, but where it is an imposition of hardship, then it is a problem. Did you not use them?
Bernard, so I used that stretch on
imposition of hardship.
Saturday.
That's strong words.
It's terrible.
Imposition of hardship.
Not good.
Okay.
Some of the thing has got to do with the drivers of the tractors. So the trucks. Some of the trucks get broken down. Others too, I discovered that they don't necessarily break down. They run out of fuel, especially those that come from Burkina Faso.
So is this a contractor's fault then?
So instead of then buying fuel along the stretch, the drivers, some of them work with specific companies, so they have to come all the way to the premises of the.
These trucks break down on the uncompleted road.
Yes.
And they create more traffic
because
like
of the
an
nature
hour's
of the road.
worth of traffic.
So you think the trucks break down because of the nature of the road?
That's part of it.
But they are fixing the road.
So Bernard, the other point is that the police can have tolls along the stretch, so that once the trucks break down,
tow trucks,
so that they just tow the stuff and it moves.
So is it like the contractors having created a proper alternative route or something?
No. As for there's no proper alternative anything.
But that's not a contractor's fault. It's the planning people. If you look from Pokwase to Nsawam, right? There's no alternative route that you can use properly, so called. So if you are going to Nsawam from Pokwase, there is none.
No, ideally there's one. If you go down, like going to Kwabenya, there's one that goes up the road. You can use that.
What state is it in? The amount of money you use to repair that is what you use on the main road.
No, it's just about leveling it and making it more trouble, so that it gives you the concentration.
So where is this alternative route?
you know, when you're going towards your you know the area.
No, there are two routes. There's the Festus route that takes you to Pokwasi Amanfro.
That's true.
But I don't know whether that appears at the Nsawam area. I don't think it does.
There's a connection. It comes back to the road. It comes back
so
to
it's
the
same
road.
thing.
No, but what it is that it lessens so it allows you to concentrate on a portion of the road while allowing you to divert traffic from that
So
particular
what is the
portion
contractor
you're
doing wrong?
concentrating
Is
on.
it like he's pouring water on the road? Is it like what's the problem?
You see, these days it is raining. You understand? But you see, you need, as I'm saying, to allow people to use a portion of the road, right? And then you concentrate on other portions of the road. You understand what I'm saying? So that you lessen the delay.
Yes. So as in, you should leave one lane and done, or do it first, or what? Or
you see, you normally what you see outside is that they cut the places into lots, right? So they concentrate on some portion while they divert traffic away from that particular section. So what that does is that it reduces the stress that people have to go through when they are using that particular corridor. In this case, that's not what they are doing.
What are they doing?
What they are doing is that they are fixing the same place and they are repairing the same place.
That you are supposed to use.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't make sense.
Make so you can be delayed while they work.
Exactly.
And this is rush hour.
Yes. And you know, from Ofanko, just the trap, you know, the barrier there.
Yeah.
From there, you get into the problem. And
so in another way, you'd have said if there should be they should do the construction with a traffic management system
in mind
as part of it.
The reason
so the engineering is not just about the road.
Yes,
but also about the transport. So are you sure there's no transport engineer on the project? There should be. There should be a traffic guy on the project.
There are. Bernard, the other thing, over the weekend, when I drove on the stretch, I thought the project was moving at a very slow pace because I didn't see I didn't see a critical number of workers on the stretch. And when I digged, I was told that because of the holiday and a good number of the workers there from the north, the people had gone home to celebrate Salah and all that. So if they are back, it's good. Then they must also, the pace must increase. I don't know. The road is bad. The road. I was on a 2-hour journey. My estimated time, I spent more than an hour 30 minutes just on that stretch. That's just how bad it was. This is from the Ofanko to Adwoedri, 1 hour 30 minutes on Saturday. It was really bad.
Let me just mention something quickly. And you know, the things, the rocks they are using to construct the road. But if you are not careful and you use that road 2, 3, 4 times, you might even lose your tires because. You know, they're sticking out in some areas like that.
So they are dangerous for your tires?
Yeah, that's right. They're dangerous for your tires. So
maybe we need to talk to a road construction expert to tell us what this guy could have done better. The other point is, generally speaking, I think that contractors need to up their game in this town because the inconvenience they cause, sometimes the times they choose to work, the nature of their diversions, it's very, very inconsiderate. They don't give a lot of notice. You wake up this morning and then you see they've changed something.
That's very true.
And then you have to figure out what to do. There aren't enough. And I think it's the supervision, the authorities themselves, because in other countries, they will give you months' notice. Our contractors treat us shabbily because the people who supervise them don't have the moral authority to tell them to do the right thing.
But let me give you an example. You see the Malam interchange. If you're coming from Barnyard, you get to the Malam interchange. Saturday they were asphalting the site, so work was ongoing. All the way from the Barnyard, there is no indication that they are doing any work.
You don't know this your Barnyard thing.
Oh, you know, Awoshi traffic light.
Victory Bible Church.
Yes,
Victory Bible Church.
You will drive all the way, you get to where the thing is starting before you see a diversion. Nothing.
So they should have
nothing to tell you that. Yes. So there was such traffic there, and it was terrible.
But
same thing. People are complaining for Kaswa.
This is what I feel. A supervised look. You give somebody a contract to do a road. You pay the person, so the person has to do it based on a certain specification. Contractors will do what they can get away with. Now I'm saying that if the contractor has given you a bribe, you don't have the moral authority to tell him what to do because both of you are doing the wrong thing. And I'm not saying that all supervisors have taken bribes, but it just suggests to me that contractors have become a law to themselves because, I mean, look at what happened on the Cape Coast Road, where a road was split in two because a contractor diverted. You get me? And has he been punished?
Nah, we've not heard anything.
So the conversation between the people who manage our roads, the people who are given the contract to do the roads, there's something missing there. Either the contractors feel like they are doing us a favor, or either because they've not been paid early or something, they are pre-financing the project, so Charlie, to me, nonsense behind Cheremy or something. You know, look, a lot of the projects have stalled. If you drive on the Wenya Road, about 4 interchanges, all just left roundabout, just left like that. So maybe the contractors who are able to work feel like, Charlie, they are the main guys in town, so you can't tell them anything. You know, and I don't know whether the supervising authority understands its own standards.
That's
you know, in Ghana we tend to follow standards only as they pertain to products, not when they pertain to processes. Because a standard is not just how. So you have a standard for a thing, but you also have a standard for how a thing is done. I don't think we're interested in that. So usually they will come and check the standard of the house, check whether the concrete is strong. But this is all after the fact. The way the thing is supposed to be done is also standardized. But I don't think there's anybody who has the energy or time. And even if they do, the supervising minister is always conflict. Because if standards authority comes to say, okay, you have been not building this road according to standard, the road ministry, the one or the highways, they don't really come into that conversation. So the society's leadership for me is failing.
Let me give you an example. You see, from the Ofanko barrier, where the barrier used to be, that overhead that dips in before you get onto the flat, they are doing some, they're upgrading that whole area. Ideally, you know, there's a turn that you can take before you get to the Ofanko barrier. It's to the right. Some Trotro people use it.
This if you are going towards the sound.
Exactly. Some Trotro people use it all the time when the traffic is heavy. Ideally,
they could have
leveled that place up to allow for people who are going towards Nsaum to get off the road from there and then rejoin at
before the interchange. Or
after? No, before the interchange. There's a school there. What's the name?
Yes, a big school on your right.
Yeah, to the right.
They come like from down. That road.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, from down. You see, that's what they ought to have done. So then that frees the whole corridor for you.
But now there's traffic and wasted hours. It's also because as a society, time is not important to us. Haven't you noticed that you go to a program and people start late, nobody cares. You go to a program and they spend a lot of time just waiting for one person to come. You go to a program and they will basically not give you an exact. We are not precise, you see, and that issue of precision is critical. Because look, we did a TV 6th anniversary and launch of Channel 1 in 30 minutes. There were like 3 speeches. I gave a speech, the minister gave a speech, Samens gave a speech. There was a performance by Apioko. All of that in 30 minutes. Now, go to a state function where we are launching something. We are just coming to speak. Maybe we are coming to launch some new product. They will say they are starting at 8. Meanwhile, 8 is where they write names. 9 o'clock, people have started sitting. Then the minister is coming at 9:30 because he has cabinet. So we start at 10. MC apologizes for starting at 10. When you start at 10, they give opening prayer. MC introduces everybody.
Then they bring
everybody
cultural
will stand.
performance.
Then they come and dance for 30 minutes or 10 minutes of some culture dance. Then when they come,
they recognize the dignitaries who are
and
there.
They'll give, and then when you are on, they'll come and say, these people can really mention their name. So you can mention their name too. Then you mention. Then when you finish, they'll give like 3 or 4 long speeches. Nobody's speech is timed. So some of them come and go off script. So the minister comes, he reads a speech, or he says put the speech away, or can even talk for 10 minutes and say, I'm not reading my speech. Or I'm reading for the minister. So let me say my own thing first. Then the main special guest of honor who comes to speak. Then we have another musical interlude. Now you spent 9 o'clock to 12:30 basically saying that we've launched something. Even if you are going to do a program for 3 hours, have a panel discussion, have something intellectual, it's nothing. Meanwhile, the budget for this event is maybe 100,000 cedis. So I am not saying that all of us don't value time, but the ethos is that, oh, Charlie, is cool. So somebody is doing a road, he doesn't think about making it easier for you to get to work. Because we are fixing a road for them.
Yeah, so they should keep quiet and stuff.
The society doesn't value time. And time is money. Time is the only raw material we're given by God. He gave everybody the same time. Some people have used time to build speed trains. They've built boats, cargo ships, rail lines. They've built aeroplanes. We haven't built any machine that we can sell for anybody. We haven't built any car. We haven't built any ship. We haven't built any train. We haven't built anything that the world can use. And yet we have the same time. So what do we do with our time? We talk about things. So if you look at events, You can do event from 9 to 5 and ask yourself, what did I really go through? So society must value time, and the contractor will not think that by creating that diversion for you to get to work earlier, you are going to produce anything, because in his mind you are just going to work. What's your problem? You see, so this inconsiderate construction is partly because nobody values time. Yeah. Let them be in traffic, it doesn't matter. We are fixing the road for them. There's no respect, there's no excellence, and then there's also corruption. So nobody can hold anybody to account. It's a confluence of problems, guy. I don't know. Let's read some announcements before we continue with this discussion.
Okay. Water is crucial. It's important to all of us. You need it to, run the body's processes and functions. So standard water should be your number one choice when you want proper water to drink, quench your thirst, and help your body. Call 0202055703 or 0547334385 to buy standard water. Standard water.
We feel you.
Thank you. Now you can experience the perfect holiday getaway courtesy of your Zenith Visa MasterCard. Spend a minimum of 3,000 cedis in at least 5 transactions with your Visa or Zenith Visa card and win an all-expense trip to the Olympic Games in Paris. Can you imagine? You get to go enjoy the Olympic Games in Paris. Don't be left out. Make it a comfortable summer with you or with your Zenith Visa card. Visit zenithbank.com.gh for more info. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. And talking about traveling, you can go to Malaysia and Singapore.
Yeah, man.
Global Wings Travel and Tours is they are Bontin people led by Caleb. They are going there this September. They are going to Malaysia and going to Singapore between the 9th and 18th of September. You go to Kuala Lumpur, see the wonderful sites, especially the Petronas Twin Towers. You go to Singapore, you get to do a full city tour. Call 0553-688-398 or 0550-188-181, or you can even send a WhatsApp message to those numbers. Pack your bags and let Global Wings whisk you away on a journey of a lifetime.
There's a big one coming for all you companies in the education sector. There's an exhibition called the Educata Ghana 2024. It's Ghana's leading international exhibition in education. We connect you with industry leaders, prospective business partners. So exhibit at Educata and boost your brand awareness. Connect with key players and generate new business leads. Secure your spots today at a 30% early bird discount before 28th of this month. The date is September 16th to 17th, 2024 at the University of Professional Studies, UPSC Accra. Time is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Contact Solomon Lodo on 0540-130-443 or email us at solomon.lodo, LODO, at ghana.ahk.de. So escape the hustle and bustle and find your sanctuary at Def Traco Woodlands, a master planned gated city in Dowenya, just a minute's drive from Central University. Our land is litigation free. We are committed to providing you great values, so each land you purchase comes with a free architectural plan and bill of quantities. There are several amenities you get to enjoy. So call us now on 0208-732-302. Visit woodlands.deftracogroup.com for more information.
All right, let's take a few quick comments on this before we bring you to social media trends. Sky seems to have... By the way, I'm told the engineer on the project, engineer Bimpong, find him.
Okay.
Engineer
Yeah, I think he's spoken to us a number of times.
Find him for me.
Oh, engineer has been here.
A few messages. I used the Pokwasi Soam stretch a couple of days ago. I'm careful not to call it a road in its current state. Terrible. It feels so sad and perhaps dehumanizing to the many who live in this space and those who have to ply that journey daily to work and school. Drivers and vehicle owners who still keep their vehicles there are making an immeasurable sacrifice. When will the ordeal be over? Employers should sympathize with employees who reside there. The ordeal they contend with twice a day is better experienced than narrated. What kind of planning and environmental impact assessment went into the project, and what mitigating strategies were deployed? Noel Francis
That sounds
Agojo.
Everything.
Yep.
Message.
Can you read it again? I
Okay.
wasn't paying attention.
Yes, very, very deep message. It says, I used the Pokwasi Soam stretch a couple of days ago. I'm careful not to call it a road in its current state.
My God.
It feels so sad and perhaps dehumanizing to the many who live in this space and those who have to ply that journey or make that journey daily to work and school. Drivers and vehicle owners who still keep their vehicles there or on there are making an immeasurable sacrifice. When will the ordeal be over? Employers should sympathize with employees who reside in that area. The ordeal they contend with twice a day is better experienced than narrated. What kind of planning and environmental impact assessment went into the project, and what mitigating strategies were deployed?
You agree with everything he said?
In total, you see, about 50% or more of the people who used to live in the estate that I live in
have run away.
They have left.
They are tired.
They are tired. Like they just give up their houses. Some don't even want even rent for it. They just left.
Move closer to town.
Yeah, that's right.
To a smaller house if it's possible.
If it is possible. That's how bad things are.
I mean, I don't know. Nathan, read a few more, then let's see.
Okay, this one says the Ofankon Sawam constructor needs to focus on a portion of the road, make it more trouble and user-friendly. Alternatively, they should give us an alternative. This touch and go is not helping us. Caleb, whoever told you the workers had gone to observe holiday was a blatant lie or untruth. The holiday is over. Make time and pass by to check. This contractor doesn't seem to have workers and equipment. As to whether there is a supervisor on this project, I very much doubt. Mimi in Pokwasi.
All right. Okay.
A few more. Joshua Clue writing from SCC says, I'm here again on the Kaswa Atalas SCC stretch of the Accra Cape Coast Highway. The road is not motorable as there is a heap of sand on the road. The South Municipal Assembly is not doing anything in the medium term to ease congestion on that stretch of the road. This one says, this morning commuters are stuck. No car is coming beyond Amasaman.
Why?
Amat Fise, it is bad. The inner roads are also very bad. They just have to make it a little more trouble. Like Richard is saying, it's painful using that road. More. The Ketasi Breakfast Show Road 2 is delaying, and cars are breaking down every day.
Final one from Kofi,
Yep.
7.
Says, I use the Pokwasi Sawam road every day. What your colleagues are saying is true. There are sections of the road that need reshaping due to the rains we are experiencing now. The trouble spots are 1, Hebron section in Sawam towards Accra. Mid-year section in Sawam towards Accra. These areas are very bad.
We'll attend to this when we come back. Time check, it's 2 minutes past 8. Tech and social media trends brought to you by
Telecel and First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana, you knew as FBN Bank. Now we are First Bank Ghana. So stay tuned in and discover the new and exciting ways we are putting you first. First Bank Ghana as part of the First Bank group that is 130 years strong. First Bank Ghana, you first. Now switch to Telecel. You have everything you want and need: quick and reliable communication, stress-free money transactions via Telecel Cash. We transform your big business ideas into success stories. Connect with us and enjoy a world of endless possibilities, because with Telecel, there's no limit to connections. Telecel, connecting energies.
Time for that segment, tech and social media trends. Nathan will take us straight to that.
All right, let's get into the trends. The story from yesterday, the Team Eternity, but still trending. So Team Eternity and Kwame Miki, they are related, or they are in the same boat in terms of the trends. Other things that are trending, Okujetoa, Blackwa, Rock City, Snit, Brane Champon, all of it in one soup. It had to do with yesterday's demonstration in relation to the Snit's decision to sell.
The second's doing everything.
All right, other stories, Richard, other trends.
It's funny. 2 days ago, Koboit was trending on that.
The visitors or the travelers.
The health insurance matter.
So my people are trending everywhere.
Everywhere, good and bad. Hey, other trends.
But they are my people too. So.
No, they are not your people. You always want to. They are not your people.
But you have invited me as an.
No, I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, you are not.
So they are my people. I don't know.
Okay.
So Richard Jakba Atoforsin also trending, and Nanaba is trending today. Today's Nanaba Namo's birthday, so she's getting a lot of love on social media.
And today is also the birthday of Fred Duho. If what Facebook is telling me,
Duhoski.
Fred Duho,
champion guy.
We have to send a delegation.
And then Georgia.
Duho came to my office one day and said that I should go and accompany him to go and thank somebody. You have reminded me of when I was in the village. He said, I should go and lead him to go and thank somebody.
Every time be big man.
No, that thing reminded me of the village, Papa. You know, when somebody does something for you in the village, you go to a respected person and then you say, you should go and lead you to go and thank the person.
Anyway, to some sporting bits, and Georgia and Turkey are trending. Yesterday they played out an absolutely exciting game in the Euros.
Even Portugal versus Czechia was a great game.
It was a nice game. Even though I thought the Portugal labored, but it took Roberto Martinez.
But there's no small boy now.
But anyway, you know the changes changed. Anyway, all right, let's do some tech news. Now, Microsoft has been dramatically toppled as the world's most valuable public company. Okay, now Nvidia, they make chips and all of that. They have overtaken Microsoft this has happened on Tuesday. Our shares rose by more than 3%. Now the stock has risen more than 170% this year, giving the chip makers leading position in the AI race with 80% of the processor market.
I want to give you a suggestion from next month. Once a week, tech and social media trends. Find a local tech trend or what is happening in a local tech industry. I'm saying this because you see, a lot of the tech trends are global. Our technology companies need to also start doing things that are worth reporting, and we also need to start finding stories around innovations that are worth reporting. Because almost every week there's something Apple is doing, Google is doing something, Microsoft doing something, because they are always trying to change things.
Okay, I will give you a bit of a sneak peek. On Monday on EdTech, we'll see an innovation that helps people with hearing and speaking challenges communicate.
Now you're talking.
So next Monday we'll get we'll get a better taste of it.
Finish the Microsoft one.
Anyway, so like I was saying, so for Nvidia, the value of their market value went up to $3.326 trillion. And for the first time, Apple is not sitting on top of that tree. So that's something for all of us to chew on. The AI wars are even reflecting on the spreadsheets.
Going up? Yes.
Lagos State. The federal government with all the billions of money in their hands are just reviving locomotive India engines for 16 years of democracy. 3 presidents. Why should we remain with PDP? Papa deceive Pekin. Why should we remain in PDP? Poverty distributing people. We have seen poverty. I have not seen poverty that I have seen it in my life since I came. I am 52 years in this world today. I have not seen a misgoverned people before. I was 20 years when I lived in Kano. I lived my life in Kano. I live in Sokoto. This is in North Nigeria. I was born. When I married my wife, 91, I will enter motor night, go to Umaya, come back by night bus. No bus, night bus again in Nigeria, courtesy of PDP.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Selecta pull up.
Go back to this road issue. I know a lot of you are asking me to talk about your route, but I think the Ofanko, Pokwase, Amasaman, and Sawam Road deserve special mention. It looks like some people are doing bulletins there. How can I say it? Some people, I've not mentioned anybody's name. Some people are doing bulletins.
Bernard, for parents who want their kids to have a supercharged future, Nyansapor Institute STEM Boot Camp is unlocking a world of opportunities. We are going into artificial intelligence, 3D design, coding, and more skills that top employers are craving. So master the technology that is shaping tomorrow's world with US-based expert Michelle Amwako, a mechanical engineer specializing in systems and software engineering. Our program is starting on August 12th to 31st this year, and it's for children between 10 years and above. So this is the number to call: 053-711-7334. Don't miss out. Boost your career prospects. Nyan Support Institute, where coding, engineering, and design meet opportunity. Now, this Eid, the celebrations go beyond the fasting. From the 5th to 22nd of June 2024, Samsung is offering you great deals to capture the spirit of the occasion with 100 Ghana Cedi or 150 cedis off the Samsung Galaxy A05 and A15 phones, respectively. You get so much more for so much less. So go to any authorized Samsung shop and save big and dance to more Melezi. Come on.
Now, if you are seeking advanced medical treatment abroad and you are wondering how it will be affordable and less stressful for your pocket, speak to Nexus Global Services Limited. They will lead you to over 100 top hospitals and doctors in Turkey to experience high quality care at unbeatable prices. They offer great support, whether it's consultation, visa assistance, air ambulance. Just talk to them on 0539659259 to begin your healing journey today. Now you are cooking and you want the food to taste great and wonderful. Dedel Spices is here. Now they bring you a straightforward flavor and the spices are authentically natural for tasty meals. It's not just seasoning, they are like a helpful friend. So whether you are cooking in your home or en masse for people, you need to get Dedel Spices, made with natural spices. Taste day inside. Call 0531 105 545, and this ad is FDA approved.
So we are dealing with food sugars, and when they get trapped between our teeth, it leads to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases foul breath. So brush your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. It gives your teeth the protection they deserve and makes them 10 times stronger. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified, so it leaves shiny, tiny, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. It seals all that, and so we've been doing this for more than 25 years. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call our customer care center to free 0800 2030. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
Let me read a few messages for you. Couple coming through 054 9986996, our WhatsApp number. Here's one that is coming in from our correspondent, Chris Asima, is a City News journalist who started his work in Bolga. He says, good morning, Bernard. The attitude of some contractors in Ghana is a national problem. Contractors often act as their own bosses with no one to guide or instruct them, not even the supervising agency or ministry. A contractor working on a speed ramp on the Bolga to Bongo Highway left the speed ramp partially completed, putting motorists at risk. There were no signs to inform incoming motorists of the work ahead, and with no street lights at night to guide motorists, resulting in multiple accidents on the road. When the community demonstrated against the contractor's actions, I followed up with the regional highways and the supervising agency for that contract. The highway directorate pleaded with me to understand the contractor and give him time, assuring me that they would talk to the contractor.
Okay.
The director intended to talk and plead with the contractor to do what is right. This is a contractor who has been awarded multiple contracts in the region and working on many projects, but no one can properly supervise him. When I asked why they could not cancel the contract and award it to a different contractor, the directorate asked me to go and find a contractor who could do the work and bring him in, as he claimed they couldn't find one himself. You see the thing I said? So they are going to plead with the contractor that he should hurry up with the work, he should give road signs. You've left a ramp unfinished. There's no street light, there's no road marking, there's no warning. And when people demonstrate, the contractor knew their mind. The regional directorate went to plead. Went to plead.
Because he's doing us a favor.
Yeah. You see the situation we are in.
God.
Went to plead with the contractor.
There's this message which says politicians know how many votes they need to secure in order to win an election, but never envisage the impact of development induced displacements like road construction on voter behavior. The Amasama and Saom road construction project is a display of planlessness. Oh. We await December 7, and the Amasama and Saom road will play a crucial role in who we vote for. There are 1 million votes using that road on a weekly basis. It's coming in from Evans.
All right, let me go and give you some facts on this road. So the main road is 33.4 kilometers, starts from Ofankor. So Ofankor, really, when you enter the Achimonta Highway and you join that road, you can't come out until you get to Ofankor.
Yeah.
So Ofankor and Sawam Road is 33.4 kilometers. The road project began in 2022. It was to last for 2 years. So technically, the road is supposed to have ended next month. It should have finished July 2024.
It's a long way from being
now
finished.
The stretch serves as a major arterial for communities in Gan West Municipal. So we are talking places like Gan West. We are talking also Pokwase, and then we are talking Amasaman, Midye, Sapeman, all the way to Kuntunse. Serves as a vital link for trade between Ghana and particularly Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. So lots of large cargo transit vehicles use that road. And the last time we did a report on this in February, the road was 50% complete. All right. Now let me talk to the Chief Resident Engineer, Engineer Kwabna Bingpong. Good morning, Chief Resident Engineer. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, and thanks for having me.
So let's start with the facts, and then we talk about what people are saying.
Okay.
Where are we with the road? The last time we spoke was in February. At the time, it was 50% complete. What's the percentage, and what's the update on the road?
Well, thank you very much. Good morning to your listeners. We are currently around 60% complete. We have just finished with a lot of the concrete work, which obviously takes a lot of time and then gives you a very small progress. So here I'm talking about the bridges. So the first one is the Ofankor Railway Bridge that has just structurally been completed. We are doing the back filling and we'll be put into service very soon. Then we have the mid-year and then Kobe-Man. They are not yet complete. Those are overpasses. And then we have the roads and the pedestrian bridges that are also currently underway. There are 11 of them. There's an underpass at the Jaheba area. And beyond that, we had about 20 cross culverts. And for those of you who have used that road, we are expanding or increasing the capacities of these culverts to convey water across the road. So by and large, then the retaining walls, that is also something that has taken quite a lot of time. But then again, in terms of progress, it is quite small. Progress will be seen when we have the asphaltic work being done, or what we call the layer work or the pavement work. That is what will give us quite a lot of progress. And that has also started in earnest. So if you just after the railway bridge towards the beginning of the Footpath interchange work, that is at White House, we have started with the crash rock and we are doing the curves, and after that we are going to put on the blacktop, that's the outside. And then just after Footpath to Amasaman to we've done something of that similar nature. So with a bird's eye view, of course I forgot about the Amasaman interchange. The Amasaman interchange is also currently underway.
So if I get you right, we are 60% complete, and a lot of these interchanges and passenger crossings have to pedestrian crossings have to be finished before the rest of the road will be done. So these are sort of like the building blocks of the road.
Exactly so.
Good. So then it means July 2024 we can't finish.
No, we cannot.
So what's the new expected completion date?
Well, we have requested the contractor to give us his revised program, and obviously for a project like this, you need to have an extension of time approved by the Ministry of Roads and Highways. And so that we cannot accept anything else. So far as we are concerned, it's July, but obviously we all know that it is not possible. So the contractor will have to give us compelling reasons why he cannot complete on the date that was originally scheduled.
What about things like relocation of utility lines, which you usually do, and also the so-called longitudinal drains? Are you done with all of those?
Okay. Well, you are raising a very sore point on the project, and this is one of the reasons why the project is delayed in a way, because we are supposed to relocate the utilities, as you rightly mentioned, water lines, electricity, and communication. But then the other major challenge, has been the relocation of persons who are affected by the project. And I'm sure you are aware that we have quite a number of suits in court trying to injunct us from touching their properties. We in the beginning we succeeded in demolishing quite a number of them, but as I speak to you now, there are quite a sizable number of them. So even though the courts have done very well to deal with the cases, they are still we still have litigation on various aspects of the road space, which is the right of way for us to be able to construct. What I mentioned, or the question you asked me about the utilities, it is only recently that we were able to get a contractor to work on the utilities, because remember that these properties which are in the right of way would have to be moved before we are able to move the utility line. And that has been a major challenge, because we are almost 2 years into the project and we still have some of the utilities still in the road space. So that is
All right. What about the drains, the so-called longitudinal drains?
Yes. We've done quite huge percentage of the longitudinal drains, and these are the roadside drains. That I don't have the percentage presently, but then I know we've done more than 50% of that. Because until we do that, we cannot also do the paving work. You know, when it comes to road construction, it's always sequential. You cannot just do one ahead of the other. You need to move in sequence. Otherwise, whatever you do in terms of the road pavement will go waste. Yeah.
All right. Now, let's talk about the various portions. So you have Ofanko to Pokwase. You have Pokwase to Amasaman, and then you have Amasaman to Insawam. This is how we, the ordinary people, can characterize a road.
Yeah.
Are those, so I call it like lots, are those lots being done at the same pace, or are we finishing one before we do the other? What's the work plan for the road, for the various lots?
Okay, yeah. You see, when it comes to road, as I mentioned, I know a lot of people have asked me this question. Why don't we finish one session and then move to the other? You have to deal with them, as I mentioned earlier, in sequence. So the drainage structures. And remember that this road was really, really bad. Okay, from the beginning, it was bad, with very huge potholes. So what we had to do was to finish all the drainage work, and then we move away from it. And of course, not only the drainage, and then the concrete work. They have to be done in tandem. That is how come it might be seen that we have tackled the entire road at the same time. So that is the reason for us seeing what we see presently on the road. So the bridges and the retaining walls and all the U-drains, the cross drainage structure, everything concrete has to be done, and that is what we are doing.
All right. Now, are there alternative routes for any portions of the road? Was that built into the plan for the road construction?
We do not have alternative routes. We do not have alternative routes. You know, as opposed to what we had previously on the Pokwase interchange, where we built local roads, okay, within the community. This does not have that within the contract. But then you see, even within the Pokwase or on that particular route, the alternative routes or the routes which are parallel are not that developed, and they will not be able to take those heavy vehicles and the volume of vehicles that use the Accra Kumasi Road. And maybe if you are aware, Accra Kumasi Road takes probably about 50,000 vehicles a day. So it wasn't possible to do any alternative roads parallel to the existing roads. And most of those roads are not even properly interconnected.
So there are no proper alternative routes that you could put passengers on or road users on while you do the main road. They just have to use the main road while you do it.
Yeah, unfortunately so.
Okay. Now, usually, because it's a dual carriageway, I've seen some contractors, when you do dual carriage, they do maybe the north-south version, and then they move to the south-north version. Do you understand my point? So that instead of working on the road progressively, you do one part so that both sides can use it, and then you do another. So parts of the Accra and Sawam, the parts of the Sawam Suhum Road, I think it was done like that. They did one part, all of us used it, then moved to the other part. Why didn't this contractor opt for that option?
Again, this brings me back to the same thing I'm talking about. Because if you are constructing a drain, a cross culvert, if you also remember, that's what we did. We push traffic or move traffic into one carriageway, and then we did one side. But once you are done, you have to move them back into the other carriageway. Now, when it comes to completing the entire route, we are doing 10 lanes, so we have quite a lot of space within the right of way to be able to work. We have, as much as possible, tried to do that, but there have been times in certain areas because of the construction that is being, for instance, when we have the bridges, we cannot say that they one half and then move the other half. You have to block a certain portion because of safety. So we will find out, for instance, at Obiman or BDA or for that matter, Amasaman is a little bit different. We are working on the right-hand side, that is going towards the home on the right hand. So that's your goal. But then if you take those other two, we are working right in the middle of the existing road. That is a sizable portion of the right-hand road.
All right, let's talk about challenges now. This weekend, my colleague Caleb used that road, and the first issue is dust. Like, basically he couldn't see the next car in front of him, which was less than 10 meters in front of him. It was so dusty.
Yeah.
I mean, have you noticed that? Is this normal for a road construction to produce that much dust?
It is not acceptable. It is not normal. And this is something I've always said that I'm an interested party because I also live in the community. So I use the road myself, apart from the fact that I'm working there. I also use it. So anytime I see such a thing, I bring the attention of bring it to attention to Qatar. And even this morning, interestingly, I got a call from Caleb after I spoke to the contractor. Because it's a daily thing. Because it's not as if you do it someday and then you go and sleep. It doesn't work that way. It has to be constant. And for those of you who use it was only this weekend, after a long time, that we experienced this solution. And it is all because of planning, because guys went on holidays, that is the Eid holidays, and we don't have the number of tankers that we usually would have. We usually would have about 10 more tankers on the road, ensuring that there's some dust suppression. But this is not happening, and this was a flip. I cannot sit on radio and say that it is normal. It is not normal. And it is unacceptable. And this has been brought to the attention of the professor. I called them on Monday. Yeah, that was just past Monday. I used the road and I said, hey, what is happening? We came in, they did it, but it wasn't enough. Because if you are washing the road, you probably have to be doing it 3 or 5 times a day. So if you do one and then wait for another time, and now within the last weekend, we've had the sun being so high. Of course, when it was raining, we had another challenge. But now that we have dry period, that is also creating another challenge. So that's one. It is unacceptable, and right. I want to apologize to the traveling public for this stuff.
But beyond the dust, Engineer Bimpong, there's also when it rains, the road is barely motorable. So there are rocky stones that just jut out of the ground, destroying people's tires. The road is slow. Then there's also these huge trucks that break down. So it really is inconveniencing and very difficult for people. I don't know if you're aware of that and whether that's also something you've spoken to the contractor about.
Yes, I'm very much aware of that. And therefore, we have a program where we create the road intermittently to ensure that we have a smooth passage. But like I mentioned, the quality of gravel roads or the surface quality of gravel roads is directly proportional to the volume of traffic and obviously of water, or the rain. Now, so what we have been doing, which is doing grading and watering and all those things. No matter what you do, the speed of traffic will not allow you to have a very smooth process. Again, that is something that would not in any way make it acceptable. And we constantly remind the professor. Even last week, we did the grading because I get calls from the public just like you have told, and we try as much as possible to caution the professor to keep the road motorable at all times. Now, the second issue is about the trucks that break down on the road, especially the on-call session. become a ritual that the trucks, when they get there, will break down. And sometimes you can have 3 or 4 trucks breaking down and then causing a whole lot of mess on the road. Unfortunately, we do not have the trucks that will be able to, or the recovery trucks. We have a national truck, what they call it now, whether it's the police or something. And they are the ones who we call to come and assist. But unfortunately, sometimes it takes too long. If we had one that was stationed permanently, then that would have been very good. So that whenever there's a breakdown, they can be told very easily. But unfortunately, we do not have that. So they always have to come in to support us whenever we have challenges. And I think that the other issue also about sometimes we have flooding. Now, we know that our drainage systems that will convey the water on the road has not been completed in terms of the UK, which is a longitudinal drain. Because we have not built our roads to the level where the waters that fall on the road can be shed into the drain. So obviously the only thing that happens is that they flow to the low point, and then at the low point they are directed into the culvert. So those are these are daily.
So let me understand the supervisory chain of this project. The contractor is Maripoma. The project is a GOG project. So I suspect the highways are the ones in charge of this project. And then you are. So who reports to whom? And if there's something that if the contractor is not doing something right, who reprimands him? Is it you, the engineer, or is it the highway people, or is it the minister?
No. Okay. So let me just understand. The employer is represented by the Ministry of Roads and Highways, and the Ghana Highway Authority is, in our contract, we'll call him the engineer. The engineer. So that, and here I'm talking engineer with a big E, with a capital E, or we can have a small E. So he is the engineer, and then we, the consultants, are his assistants. We are called the engineer's assistants. Now, the mode of communication is that we write, if we see anything, we write to the contractor. Okay, there are times that you can have the Ghana Highway Authority also calling our attention to something, because they are out of all because they are called the engineer, represented by the chief executive. Okay, so that is the mode of communication. We write to the contractor and copy the engineer, and if the engineer has any issue, we will bring it up. But the engineer does not write directly to the contractor. It always will go through the engineer's assistant.
So has the highway authority, the capital E engineer, written to the contractor through the small E engineer yourself, complaining about any aspect of this project?
Oh, they do. They do.
And can you give me an example of an issue they've raised and what was done?
Oh, even the chief director himself, always, just yesterday, it's interesting, just yesterday morning, the chief director called me to his office and asked me, similar issues. They are very much aware, and they are always, talking about it. They have, evidence to show that whenever there is an issue, usually they will call me. They will call me and then try to get answers. Even this morning, I got a call from the ministry. So it is something that...
but you see, these calls could be based on specific things or tiny details. What I'm asking is, the overall progress of the project, the number of complaints we received on the show this morning suggests that most people who use the road are dissatisfied with the way the work is going. So I'm not talking about somebody calling you to ask whether, they watered this morning or whether what we're asking of is the chief engineer happy with the way the road is being done? Seeing as most commuters are saying that the road is inconveniencing them, it's producing too much dust, and the pace of construction is slow, and they are really suffering because of the road. That's beyond incidental calls to complain about specific tiny details.
Okay, yes. I think that I can speak on this show and tell you a lot of the challenges that we are facing. But I don't think that the public is interested in that. What the public is interested in is that we should be able to construct this road, but then ensure that, like somebody will say, not after we complete all of them will be dead. That is never a situation. So we listen to the public. I'm on a number of platforms. I hear all the stories. And we are eager to ensure that the contractor does what he's supposed to do. Yes, there are challenges, there are issues, but that is not something that we are going to bring into the public today. All we are doing is that, and again, I don't want to go into specific details, but then what we are doing is pushing the contractor to ensure that he does this part of the bargain, while we as engineers and the engineer do our part.
So by which time will we know the completion date? Since you're saying clearly July is not possible, when will we know when the project will end?
Actually, this morning when I spoke to the contractor, because I've been requesting for this request. You know, we go through the process, the request for extension of time, whatever is required of him. Once it is brought to us, we are going to do the analysis and then bring it back to the engineer for a determination. So until that, I don't know what is bringing, whether it is for 1 year or for 18 months or for 2 years. I don't know. So I would want to listen, slowly, and once they bring it, we'll see whether they have a case or not, and then we will go ahead and evaluate it, and then advise the engineer, and of course the engineer would also come on board. So we will inform the employer as a ministry.
All right, thank you very much, Engineer Kwabena Bimpong, Chief Resident Engineer of Ankons One Project, admitting the challenges, providing answers where he can, and obviously some we have to get from elsewhere, but we appreciate his time for this. Time check is 8:47. Later this morning, you'll be hearing from one of the world's foremost movie producers, Danny Dama. He's my guest for the on-air series for the City Business Festival. But we still have another route to talk about this morning. Because, I raised the issue about the Nungwa interchange.
Yeah, before you go there. You see, I appreciate the fact that Nana Bimpong, the engineer, was able...
Kwabena Bimpong.
He had the time to speak with us. And he tried as much as possible to apologize where he could in a very, subtle way, make concessions, and then also in some areas to say that we are working on resolving the problem. But I'm also very highly disappointed in some of the answers he supplied, because look, people are raising specific issues. It is not a question of being on a regular call basis with a contractor. Oh, yesterday I called him, today we called him, or yesterday I was with the chief director on some... No, that's not what we're talking about. We are asking whether strongly worded emails, letters have been dispatched to the contractor to raise specific issues that are undermining productivity, that are undermining the quality of life of people on that particular corridor. And these are issues you raise in a memo, and you expect that answers will be provided. If they are not provided, sanctions where appropriate can be applied. But in this one, I called him yesterday, no, that's not how it is done elsewhere.
Maybe that's how we do it here.
Let me just give you a sampling of some thoughts on Facebook. So I threw the question out and I asked people who use the road to share some experiences. Somebody says, dusty and dirty, and if you are asthmatic, the repercussions dire. This one says, saying it's bad is an understatement. It's deadly. This one says, my Shafi has spoiled because of that road. Shaft, I mean. Somebody says, that road is a nightmare. Aboso Khan will always keep your cars home once you keep using that stretch. As for the dust, don't go there. It's terrible.
Oh, God.
This one says, Google Map better be your good friend to advise you on which routes to take and from what town. Woe unto you if a truck breaks down on your fan called John Te, Eja Herbal stretch. Says, you go vex die. This This one says, every day, Washing Bay people will chop your 10 cedis from dust and mud that you have to drive through to work. There are times when going to Achimota through Awoshi from Pokwase is faster. The noise from weak or sports shock absorbers is no longer embarrassing to any driver on that stretch. We are used to it now. These are listeners on.
This is zero.
So yeah, from La Paz says, I used the Malam interchange to Weja yesterday, and the asphalting has been poorly done. Potholes at numerous sections, making driving dangerous. So Bernard, this is basically, you see, usually they leave some space where the metal can contrast. That's what it is. And the way they've done it, it's some way.
I have a question. Bernard, sometimes you see asphalted roads, right? And all of a sudden there
it starts giving way.
No, it doesn't. It kind of comes to coagulate somewhere and form some
especially
bumps
around traffic lights.
Yeah, why?
They don't allow it to drive well, or they use, I don't know,
Kaukudi traffic lights.
Substandard.
It's crazy.
Yes, when you are going down from Accra Girls to the Kaukudi traffic lights.
Yes, yes.
But it's a third road, but it's very bumpy.
Maybe they don't allow the asphalt to set.
Or when you drive, say, on the Lagos Avenue, right? Yeah. When you go past, when you are trying to get to the shredders close to the Melcom.
Yes.
I noticed that the road is tarred, but you find portions of the asphalt kind of almost like coagulated in some corners. I don't know what the issue is.
If you're going towards 37 too, you have that in between Jubilee House and 37 Hospital.
That's true.
It happens as well.
That's true.
So we have
Good morning, Bernard. There's still sand on the SEC to Old Barrier Road since last Friday's rain. This situation is causing traffic on that stretch. The last time you interviewed the district engineer, municipal engineer, you mean, he claimed they always ensure that sand is cleared after every rainfall. Today is day 6 and the sand is still on the road. The road at the toll booth section is damaged and is damaging our cars. We need help. But this is very true. Saturday there was a lot of traffic from West Hills Mall towards Weja. It was terrible
because of this particular
place. Man, the Festus Road takes you to Amasama and then you are back to the go slow.
So it doesn't solve the problem.
No, but at least you cut out some of the problems.
Good morning, Bernard and colleagues. I left home at 5:30 and I'm still on the road to Osu from the Deaf Traco Community 25. This is Michelle. We didn't see the time you said it. Community 25 there. Please, can we have the police traffic warden put on white gloves when they're on the streets? This morning the sun is up early and low. We can't see the traffic light to be green or red and can't tell the police is stopping. Or waving
so you don't know
at
whether
us.
he's asking you to come or go. It's true.
Okay, it's true. That's
because
very
you reach
germane.
you don't know if he's doing this or that. So
Some
you
of them.
It's true.
It's very germane. Good morning, Bernard. Those of us who use that stretch daily spend at least half of our monthly earnings to maintain our cars. This is really frustrating. Julius Ganyo
from Satellite Kuntunse.
Good morning. Afenya Apollonia Road is the worst road in Ghana from Mysterious One. But the issue about the Kasua Windeba stretch is even more serious than we think. While the contractor is digging and removing rocks to construct an underpass, motorists are made to use what used to be the shoulder of the road. The thing is, the cars are too close to the edge. Buses and other heavy vehicles may one day too soon
cause the embankment to cave in.
Yeah, okay. Please, they should check this before calamity occurs. Good morning, Bernard.
Morning.
I am seeing some asphalting works going on in some parts of Accra, but I must say there are many areas that need leveling and mere bitumen. I don't know how road management is being done in the country. Could you send that through? But they also need maintenance. Anyway, Alowski, this is Stanley Montana from Teshi Bush Road. I'd like to take this opportunity to discuss traffic lights since we are on the topic of roads. I am perplexed that traffic lights are not functioning at numerous locations, and this has become the norm. Similarly, street lights are also not working. Is it too challenging for politicians to address this issue? I work near the traffic light at the police headquarters, and it's frightening to see cars almost colliding due to the lack of a functioning traffic light. I'm struggling to understand why this is so. Bernard, you see how curvaceous the Ebri Road is? And at night, it gets it's really slopey and it's raining lately. Look, all the time the street lights don't work.
Never.
The street lights they have never worked. I don't know why. Asofan to Amamole could have been leveled up as an alternative for light vehicles and users on that section of town.
We'll do more routes shortly on the Citi Breakfast Show this morning. Sky, I think once you're on the route subject, we need to continue because there's another. I want some clarity on the what do you call this interchange? The Nungwa interchange.
Okay.
And the Kojo Ashong road. So I'll be speaking to somebody from that area because I think there was a story that came in last few days about that road. I'm just looking for the story to retrieve it. I think the minister was reported to have ordered something. I'm not sure if it was properly, I don't know. But what I'm told is that this may not necessarily be the case. So let me try and see if I can get it. So the story said that Asenso Bachi instructs contractor to repair deteriorating interchange. All right. So here's the story. It says the Minister for Roads and Highways, Francis Asenso Bachi, has instructed contractors to immediately repair the deteriorating ground roads at the Nungwa interchange. The road condition has worsened due to the stalled Nungwa interchange project, initially scheduled for completion February 2023. The project's delay is attributed to the ongoing IMF negotiations.
Okay.
During a site visit to assess the highway's progress, the minister, Asenso Boachi, directed contractors to focus on repairing the ground roads to facilitate smooth commuting and commercial activities pending the project's resumption and completion. I have directed the Department of Urban Roads to engage local contractors to repair sections that have deteriorated. Today, another contractor is on site to do the repair works. I put on record that the government has also engaged a contractor to rehabilitate the roads in Nungwa, which are 19 kilometers of roads which are going to be constructed here in Nungwa, and that will bring a lot of relief to the good people of Nungwa and its surroundings. Let's talk to Isaac Ejay Kwachi, Deputy PRO Roads and Highways Ministry. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Ejay. Yes. So is it that I am misunderstanding what the minister said? I think initially my understanding was that he was asking them to fix the interchange. But upon a careful reading of the story, it looks like he was asking them to fix the roads leading to the interchange while the negotiation for the interchange project continues. Is that the right position?
Precisely, Bernard. The headline there says Minister instructs contractor to fix the Nungwa interchange, which is entirely not correct. Actually, Minister, his direction was towards Department of Urban Roads, as you really read. And this is a decision the government has taken that all the foreign funded projects that have stalled, something ought to be done about it, especially with the access roads. And the minister, upon his visit to the western region, instructed Urban Roads to engage a local contractor to fix the PTC interchange. As we speak, the access roads around the PTC interchange has been fixed. And yesterday, he visited Nungwa interchange. Similar thing is being done, even on the entire stretch from Blaster Square all the way to Community 3. Sectional repairs will be done. Last week, some areas around Labadi, Olympia have been fixed. Eshi as well. And then yesterday, he visited Nungwa interchange. And the access road, not the bridge itself, the access roads around the interchange. And from the Nungwa all the way to Sakomona Estate Junction will also be fixed. And if you can remember, during the construction stage, most of the community roads were used as access roads, or we diverted the vehicle or traffic towards those roads, and they have deteriorated. That's why the minister has instructed that 19 kilometers of such roads should be fixed. And the contractor who is going to do the remedial works at the Nungwa interchange is Kingsport Construction Limited. The one who is going to do the Nungwa town roads at the 19 kilometers is Justmo Ghana Limited. These are what the minister wants to do to ensure that we get.
Clarify the PTC Takrady one. Did he instruct that construction of the interchange itself continue, or like the Nungwa one, the roads leading to the interchange?
No, the roads leading to the I said access roads around the interchange, not the interchange itself.
Okay.
So the top will not be worked on, but the ground floor, or I should say the groundworks will be done to make the road more travel.
Okay. We understand that the interchange is stalled because of the IMF project negotiations, but we do know that last week it was announced that Ghana has struck a deal with our bilateral creditors. These are nations that we owe, using the G20 common framework. So this is China and France leading the negotiations. My understanding is that this PTC and this Nungwa and Co. are sponsored or funded by governments or facilities from these countries. So once that deal has been struck, it is logical to expect the route to continue, unless this misunderstanding something.
Yeah, Ben, I also had privilege to read that communication. But it's not just automatic that as soon as a deal is struck, then contractors are back on site. But that notwithstanding, the arrangement is being done to ensure that they come back to site to complete the entire interchange. But Minister made mention of the fact that he, as a leader of the ministry, cannot sit aloof and watch the project, because for your information, the Nungwa interchange stood at about 87% completion before the suspension. So we would have finished last year by February. But unfortunately, we couldn't finish, as you just mentioned. So whilst we are trying to get the original contractors back to site, we're also trying to fix the access route. Because as we speak, the top are not being used, but the ground is being used by motorists, and it's creating inconveniences for them. So that's why the minister has taken a decision that it has to be worked on. And we are engaging local contractors. So I mentioned earlier on the foreign-funded projects, just like the Akusombo Tema route. Sectional repairs were recently done. We are doing same at Taplao route. So these are some of the interventions that minister intends to do to ensure that we get smooth running on our roads.
Will this not affect the original contractor? Because if I've been given a contract to do an interchange, and for some reason the thing has stalled, and now you are telling a different contractor to come and fix a road which I, the main contractor, will consider to be part of my project. I mean, this has to be managed carefully, otherwise it could lead to confusion, right?
Oh, before these contractors were moved to site to do their remedial works, the ministry engaged the original contractors and made them understand why there was a need for us to engage the local contractors. So there's nothing ambiguity about it, and I think that your concern is legitimate, but it's well within the threshold of the ministry.
Great. So since the minister is now encouraging contractors to fix roads which are sort of covered by other projects, can he not stretch this to other parts? Because there's so many parts of the capital with roads with all kinds of issues, right? So is this something he intends to do across, or was this in response to complaints from the Nungwa and Takrady specifically? Because I can tell you there are so many roads. I mean, let me give you an example. If you drive from Tema and you're going to Dowenya, okay, you're going to Community 25, you will meet at least 4 roundabouts where project has stalled, also because of debt exchange. Run at Pram roundabout, one at a place which has, I mean, there are all so many of them. The one that's keeping close to the Bone interchange. Is he also going to direct that those roads be done while the interchanges and roundabouts are fully completed?
Yes, Bernard, I just mentioned to you that similar works have been done on the Tema Askosombo Tema Aplau route. And the mobile maintenance unit of Ghana Highway Authority recently was deployed to go and fix sectional repairs on those stretches. So it's not something that's limited to only Nungwa and Takrady interchange. It's something that cuts across. I believe you know that if a road is located somewhere, everybody uses that road, and it's inures to our benefit if it's in more trouble. So it's something the minister is working towards to achieve a good riding surface of our roads.
All right, thanks for talking to us, Isaac. Ajay is the Deputy PRO Roads and Highway Ministry with an update. So if you're in Nungwa, the roads, the ground roads for the interchange. I'm surprised the interchange is 83% complete. I thought it was a bit lower. Well, the ground roads have been, the minister has directed it for them to be done. Same for the PTC interchange, so that the inconvenience is reduced. He says the same for the Tema Plau and Tema to Akusombo road. So viewers and listeners, if you see any update on those roads, please let us know.
So Bernard, yesterday at 7:15 a.m., Akosua Efriye sent a video and added this message. Good morning, Caleb. Hope you are well and sorry for springing this on you. The road in front of Junction Mall and the interchange in general is horrible.
That's what he's talking about.
We are really suffering. Some
so
cars
this is
with
the
no
road.
suspension. Yeah.
This is the road that he said the minister has directed for construction.
Hopefully something is done as quickly as possible.
Well, clearly radio gets results because the Aplao Road and the Akosombo Road are roads we highlighted this week. And clearly
something is happening.
Yeah. So maybe since radio gets results, let me throw where's the one Jude did on the there's one. Where's this one? I want to throw one in because I'm sure the minister is listening.
Bernard, which one?
Aplaku Botiano Nyanyano. So I need the voice for that. Aplaku Botiano Nyanyano Road. Aplaku Road, yes. So Honorable Asenso, please
this one too.
So I want to throw the Aplaku one in so you can also direct. So that Isaac, so please tell him that I lost his playing another one. This is Aplaku to what's the name of the place? Aplaku Botiano Nyanyano. Yeah. So let's hear the situation there. Now, the alternative to that, the main one. Yeah. Let's hear that one.
The old Winneba Road was renamed after Ghana's late president, John Evans Atta Mills, in October 2014 by the Gassault Assembly to honor his memory. Close to 10 years after the renaming of the road to the Professor John Evans Atta Mills bypass, concerns arrive as to whether the current state of the road befits the memory of the late president. The pothole-ridden road connects commuters to areas such as Aplaku, Botiano, Nyanyano, Kokrobite, and its environs. The road also leads to popular resort destinations such as the Bojo Beach. Channel 1 News came across vehicles that had broken down after hitting some potholes on the stretch. Some drivers who spoke to Channel 1 News complained about the bad state of the road, which is draining their income due to how frequently they have to maintain their vehicles, adding that the road is completely unmotorable when it rains. They also lament the significant rise in transportation costs due to the state of the road.
I say, Achel, the way I can hear you can't not sing your men. Say, Quan way shooting Kayashima and Kayakwana. Ah, Sabi, Yabro, if you know who Naziba. Cokrobita Quanti, that's in easy out with you. Ah, beach Nadina, our Hammond Manaka Kahuna Ziba. Ah, there. Ya for Quan to prepare about crown or row. Quanin, yan, Nanu, there. Was the maybe says a quim woman. No, but what the children had to be what the both women as well. But what about to Abenzi?
You know, if you drive a bit further, you see some of the potholes. They are not actually potholes. And they are doing nothing to it. Manholes. They are actually manholes. Go to Tobut and see. Election is coming. Very soon they will start coming and patch the road, which is very bad.
Even common praga, you can't even use praga safely on this road. The way there's a lot of potholes on the road is very bad, and the people who are selling here, because of the dust, you can't even buy anything from the street unless you buy it from the supermarket or anything around, but not around this place because the dust has already been contaminate the food already.
Mostly those people who don't normally use this road, they can't even say, oh, there's a gutter here. They don't have to go through this side. But we using this road often all the time. We are able to move smoothly. Do you understand? Sometimes, I remember sometimes I have to park my car just to walk to the house.
The huge potholes on the road are not only affecting the easy and smooth movements of commuters, but are also fast becoming a health, economic, and security concern. Some shop owners and residents also spoke to Channel 1 Newsroom.
This road looks scary at night especially. That's late night, yeah. And there's within 10 o'clock there will be nobody here. Stores will be closed. So if by 12 to 11, if you are here on the road, you might get robbed or harmed.
Because the kind of was a car into go speed into Omujina Kana, I don't meet my Robbie Kana, and as I met my attack passengers. What I say into Omoshana Muyabi before a hard dream pa Minda. He say Atala the morning in Sotoa, I had a casting in Afa. And he said, I know soon Yana Hanya, and I say, being Kona Bimba. What I say,
Foot only do can dia yes and ketwa. In fact, be 3 days to 4 days na so ni to e de. Foot only deeper. Ese niam no. You see am no ka say me woni me bi ma pack wo ho aye me ka aye nto because of that nti. Some by kwana am say foot only so be perform ma aye so no. Etima dwumade bi edi bia no. Etima koso ma aye.
The good news, however, for residents and commuters is that work to improve the area's flood resilience is underway. Contractors were seen on site constructing a 4.8-kilometer drain on both sides of the road, after which road maintenance works and construction will take place. The supervising contractor on the project, Edward Nyame, spoke to Channel 1 News.
We are starting this project just last week, and you can see the work is progressing. And overall, we are doing 4.8 kilometers of gutters. And after these gutters, we are going to do the soil too. So this is the kind of project we are doing. This is the main road from here to the Kaswa. For the drainage, we are estimated for about 3 months. We have to finish all the drainage for the 3 months, then the rest continue.
So that's by August to be done with the drains?
Yeah, by the grace of God, by the August, we are going to finish the drainages so that the other ones will continue.
Now let's talk to me about the road project. So after finishing this in August, when exactly is the road project going to start? Because I can see a lot of potholes and it's creating a very serious problem of dust for people here. So when is the road project going to start and when will it end?
Roughly, let's take it like by 2-3 months time, you can finish that road.
And how many kilometers of roads are you going to build on this stretch?
Roughly, we are doing the 4.8 kilometers drainage. So no matter how the roads project, we're going to take about maybe 5 or 6 kilometers.
So you have by 2-3 months, maybe 5 or 6.
By the grace of God.
So no, basically everything is imprecise. By 2-3 months, maybe 5 or 6 kilometers. And this is engineering.
Yeah,
this is not philosophy. We are talking like roads.
It's supposed to be.
These are exact rules, like and this is an engineer or some character working within the field. That's where our problems lie. We are not very clear. We are not precise. So, Charlie, the Olunka economy. All right. So my attention is on the it's our lived experiences that we bring on air. And I had gone to Akosombo in the month of May and came to now. Caleb also did the Nsawam of Uncle, and the thing just entered him. So he's firing this morning.
Yeah, let me read this message. This one says, I use the Tema Kosombo Road every day. The only thing that has been done there was when they came to pour some quarry dust on it, when a charcoal vehicle or a truck containing charcoal toppled over around the Ashaiman roundabout due to the bad nature of the road. As we speak, because of the rains, it's all been washed away and the potholes have been revealed again. And says this about 2-3 weeks ago, I'm told.
Charlie. Anyway, let me just inform you finally that when we come back, we'll go into a conversation with Danny Dama, a very, very significant movie producer on the business of film. But let me just remind you of the management bootcamp starting on the 24th. That's Monday. Now, if you have called to register, you need to make payment this week so you can secure your seat at the management bootcamp happening from the 24th to the 30th of June at the KCBA Hotel in the Kropong. Topics for managers include building and sustaining competitive advantage, mastering people management, emotional intelligence in leadership, revolutionizing customer service, marketing at the core of growth strategy, and more topics. Call or WhatsApp this number to secure your seat: 0249 950 680. That's 0249 950 680.
Yeah, Bernard, quickly, I want to do a quick dedication. It's coming in from a very special place. And it says that a fantastic birthday to the most beautiful soul we know. Truly, great friends are rare, difficult to leave, and impossible to find. You have and will always be that special person to us. To the world, you may be just one person, but to us, you are the world. To know you is to love you. Have an awesome 40th birthday from all your friends, family, and loved ones, including Naira and my household. This one is going out to Nana Abena Echa Osei
Okay.
Welcome to the 4th floor.
Meanwhile, happy birthday to Divine Akaba coming in from Emmanuel Seiram Duku and to a few and from other people. Divine Akaba, happy birthday to you.
But this one says, can you help me wish my twins a happy birthday today? May God continue to bless them and may they continue to shine everywhere they find themselves. They are Nana Kofi Adaze Apreku and Nana Efia Adazewa Apreku. This is coming from your father, Richmond Nana Sechi at Cosmos Innovation Center. He's also wishing his friend Deacon Edward Boy a happy birthday. They both fellowship at the Tema Greenwich Meridian District. Community 3.
And let me quickly mention this one from a an engineer who says not all contractors are engineers. A lot of these guys have bought the contracts and are usually businessmen. The people we should be speaking to are the supervising and engineers from the MMDC.
Oh, that's what I just
contractors are only puppets of politicians.
Bernard, happy birthday to Nana Yao Ampim Dako. Hello guys, the marketing manager for Ash Foam.
Hey! Oh, it's a big man. It's a big man.
Before we proceed, bro, you have made some commitment here.
Yes.
You made some representation, and still you have not.
Still something.
So I can't sleep well. I cannot sleep well. Today is your birthday. You have to perform. Do something.
You can't do that.
But a happy 8th birthday to my little lady Nia Nana Sewa Otrebuating. May your cup never run dry. I love you from Mommy Afrakuma Chenri Hesse. And so Nana Sewa Otrebuating is your 8th birthday. Happy birthday to you from your mom.
Now, if you are seeking advanced medical treatment abroad, you should know that it shouldn't cost you over the top money. Whatever the need is, whether it's a kidney transplant, obesity surgery, cancer treatment, speak to Nexus Global Services Limited. They will make your journey smooth and your wallet and pocket will be happy. Call them on 0539-659-259 or visit their website nexusgsl.com. Latex Foam is saying that when you close from work and you go home, you should sleep well. That's why you need to visit their showrooms and experience the difference for yourself. They have high quality mattresses and furniture crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind. Call them on 0302-231155 or 0322-08499 or visit their website latexfoamghana.com. Now, if you are interested in going to Canada or Canadian immigration and you want to learn how to avoid fraud, the 22nd of June, that's the day where all your answers will be given to you. Why? There's a free webinar being put together by the Black Africans Group, RCIC Group, in collaboration with Asker Immigration Consulting Services. The topic, Fraud Awareness, Canada Immigration. Come and learn so you are not defrauded. Money is hard to come by. Don't waste it on unscrupulous characters. Go to the Facebook page at BARCIC. Watch live and give valuable insights. We have told you, if you miss...
Wow.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Are you a builder, contractor, or home?
another edition of our Honors series for the Citi Business Festival, and we're talking creative arts this week. Today, we're discussing the film or movie industry, the business of film, and my guest is world-acclaimed producer, writer, and director Danny Dama. Great to have you, bro.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
You're known all over the world, but a lot of people in Ghana don't know you that much. Is it a deliberate sort of ploy?
No, it's not deliberate at all. I wouldn't say I'm known over the world. I would say because we work behind the camera, we're not as known or as prominent as people who work in front of the camera. So traditionally, it's usually the people who I work around or who I work with that I get to know.
But you've done some really, of course, Beast of No Nation was your work. You've done, I think the recent NFL ad was you. And these are things that are seen by billions of people. So by that I mean, you've done world-class work.
Gotcha.
But you enter here and most people here don't know who you are. Obviously because you work behind the camera.
Correct.
But just tell me a bit about how you got into the space.
When I finished O-level, I did science in O-level. When I finished O-level, I didn't do too well in the sciences. I was actually a brilliant student. I just went, sideways. I didn't do too well in the sciences, so I went to Workers' College, did business, and I realized that because I did science, I did ad math, I was very good at business. And then I went to a school called Leading School of Management and IMS as well, and I went to the U.S. And in the U.S., I was like, well, I want to do business, but I have to do business in something that I'm interested in. In Ghana, just before I had left Ghana, I was somewhat in the entertainment space in Ghana. I was putting on concerts at the Globe Cinema at the National Theatre when it was newly built, working with, quote unquote, when there was no real music industry. I was working with some other artists. One of the groups we formed was called Native Funk Lords.
NFL.
I was literally the person who put it together. Had about 8 to 9 members. It was not formal. When I left, they became more formalized and became who they are today. So entertainment was always in me. Entertainment was always in me, and I grew up in India. When I was very young, my father had taken me to a set in Jaipur, India, and a very prominent Indian filmmaker, Sajjad Ray, was shooting a film in India. And I said, this is what I want to do.
Wow.
Literally what I
even at that young age?
At that young age, this is what I want. I was like, 7, I think. This is what I want to do. And so I've kept it up. So every opportunity I had growing up, I had always looked to try to see anything to do with the arts, entertainment, but they just kept pushing me into science. So it was literally one of those areas where they say, look, you're going to do well in life if you do the sciences. If you're a doctor, you become an engineer. It's not like my parents pressured me or anything. It was what was available and what was then. In those days, I don't know if you guys come from the O-level times, they actually put you in classes based on your grade level. So if you were in the top percentile, they actually put you in the A and B classes. And then the second percentile was business, and the third percentile was arts. And then the last one was, we'll see them later. anything can happen.
Amazing. So film is very powerful. We discuss countries. America is powerful not just because of the weapons and the economy, but because of Hollywood. India is rising. Bollywood is part of that. Even Nigeria has Nollywood. Do you think we appreciate the importance of that in Ghana, the power of storytelling using film? Do you think we get that?
I don't think collectively we get it, but individually we know it. So collectively, there's no conscious effort to say now there is, but there's no conscious effort to say we are trying to create cultural power, like soft power based on our cultural prominence. We have a very rich culture, from Ashanti culture to Ewe culture, the northern cultures, the southern cultures. It's just everywhere. Everybody globally recognizes it. There's no history book you would read. There's no cultural book you would read that doesn't mention, or anything about Africa that does not mention cultures in Ghana. You hear stuff about East Africa, and then you always hear cultures in Ghana. I'm sure there's many other cultures in West Africa, but prominently you hear, and dominantly you hear about cultures in Ghana. So we're doing something, but we're not doing it formally. It's not a conscious.
So what does it take to bring it to a position where it becomes a driver of the national brand, but also an economic sort of, it starts yielding economic power?
To answer your question, I'll try to use a country that consciously did it, South Korea. So South Korea as a country was looking at other countries around them. So Hong Kong was in the top area because they had a British influence at the time. Japan was very focused on its cultural power dominance globally. So in everything they did, they would take a Western concept and make it as Japanese as possible. And to the point where they excelled at making stuff Japanese within their cultural realm. South Koreans copied that. They already had their culture, but they copied that model and were able to infuse their culture and took it to the next level where they actually have a national budget to actually sell their culture globally. Mainly because their economy is based on it's an export-driven economy, and they looked regional. They looked at China, they looked at Indonesia, Malaysia, and other countries around them, and they realized that, you know what, we are alike. We're very alike, than we are different. We will be able to create these industries, whether it's the music industry, the film industry, fashion industry, and technological industry, and have all our neighbors come use our technology and use our infrastructure to actually showcase what they have in their country. So they became a go-to country. Apart from what they created themselves, they became a go-to country, and that actually created their industry. And so culturally, today, when you go around the world, you look for Korean food. You can find a Korean hotel. You can find Korean music. You can find Korean fashion. You can find anything Korean that is labeled Korean. You can find something that is of Korean origin.
But I guess it begins from the people in the country
consciously
recognizing and consuming their own.
Yes.
I get the sense that here people tend to prefer or are fed with more foreign content. So somehow they like teams from the UK for football. They would support either Man U or Real Madrid or whatever. And then, of course, on television as well, they get to watch soaps from wherever, either India or Brazil. So is it for want of the content, or is the way that people's mind works? Because the Koreans didn't begin by watching Japanese content and showing that on their TV every day.
True.
Koreans started loving their own content, and they thought it was good enough to export. Talk a bit about around that.
So I'll use all the three industries you talked about. Sports for one. In Ghana, for example, we look at sports as sports, competitive. We don't know that sports is actually entertainment. It's an entertainment business. So if you don't look at the entertainment business aspect of sports, you will only look at it as a competitive aspect of it, and it becomes social as opposed to becoming entertainment business. So film, sports, music, etc. They are all entertainment business. Even news, the news you have, it's entertainment business, right?
For a journalist, that's very troubling.
It is entertainment business because at the end of the day, somebody has to pay the bills. So there would be, within the news realm or within the journalism realm, there will be a formatted version of whatever information you're giving out. And that information would be either sensational or entertaining or
informative or critical.
In a sense, but it is formatted to hit those points.
Yes.
And somebody sits down and says, you know what, I can sell Coca-Cola, I can sell ice cream, I can sell these products. If you say this on radio, you've been saying this too much. You need to reduce, you need to cut down those topics. Nobody is interested, and we're losing audiences. So it becomes business, right? In the same way with film, in terms of our culture, we have a National Commission on Culture. That is their actual job. So we actually have a constitutionally written document somewhere for somebody to actually sell our culture, right, to us and to the world. So it is there. It's not that Ghana doesn't have it. It is there. But it's the business aspect of it and being able to translate that sales of culture as a natural occurring everyday phenomenal event in our lives to something that is actually soft power or commercial globally.
Does it have to be what you do after you've paid the bills? By that I mean, people first want to feed their citizens. They want to have good economy, and then they sort of look for soft power as the addition. Must it follow that sequence, or can you use it to trigger the things I've said earlier?
It has to be a very conscious effort to say, because I don't want to say all economies, but majority of the global economy of the world, from Greek philosophy till today, is based on productivity and employment. right? Everything else that is social comes underneath productivity and employment. Without the productivity and employment, there is no funding, there's no release to be able to actually invest in anything that's social, right? Our hospitals, our schools, etc. Once we know what we're going to be doing for productivity and employment, it feeds into making all of these other things underneath those effective, right? For every dollar the government gives a business, the government takes 57% back of that amount, whether it's in income taxes, in corporate taxes, in sales taxes, and all the other taxes, petrol taxes, all kinds of stuff. They take 57% back. So the company is only left with 43%. That's why everybody's trying to dodge tax. The company is always left with 43%, and it's global. It's not a Ghanaian thing. So in everything you're doing, whether it's sports, whether it's entertainment, once you have a conscious effort at productivity and employment, because the people who are going to be productive and who are going to be employed, or the productivity of that enterprise, is really what is going to grow that cultural activity. Okay. So it's kind of key.
So if productivity and employment are the two key issues, then let's talk about factors of production. What resources would you say are required to build a strong movie industry?
So the most important part of a film industry is distribution. That's the most important aspect of film distribution of a film industry. Distribution has to be, and distribution means marketing, it means exhibition, and it means placement, and it means appealing to the most persuasive, appealing messages for people to actually consume that content. Once you have that audience in play, you can go back and then feed the content to them, right? And in distribution, you have so many aspects of distribution. You have, like I said, the marketing part of it, the awareness part of it, the public relations part of it, right? And then you have two ways of making your money. Either an advertiser is paying it or it's transactional, right? The transactional part is what is the most difficult aspect of filmmaking. Because you don't have the cinemas or movie theaters, it's very hard to say, I'm making a film for 100,000 Ghana cedis and I'm putting it out there for people to watch and pay me. Where are you putting it? In which places are people going to be able to sit down and pay for that 100,000 cedis? You don't look for 1 million, say, in profits. There's no place to exhibit. So then where does a movie industry start? If you don't have a place to actually show people actually get a chance to watch your content, where does a movie industry start? So distribution and exhibition are very, very key in the film industry. Now, you always have to look to what has been done in the past.
Okay.
Right? At a certain point in our history, these challenges came up. It's not new to Ghana. And I'm old, so I can say when I was growing up, in almost every neighborhood, there was a cinema.
Yes.
In almost every neighborhood, there was a cinema.
Yes, there was.
And where there was no cinema, there was what we call video show.
Yes.
Right? So a filmmaker, regardless, and the films were more expensive in those days than they are here today, comparatively. A filmmaker from the get-go knew exactly who his audiences were and knew where he was going to sell his content. In Ghana in those days, to sell the content, you had to follow the distribution laws. So you cannot just go to Kumasi and say, I'm showing a film in Tree. You need to dub the film into Dagbani. You dub the film into Ewe. You dub the film into Fancy in so many different areas. That's what distribution is. I always use Europe as an example. In Europe, there's literally one English-speaking country or one English-speaking kingdom. So it's England, and then it's Isle of Man, and then Ireland, and etc. Everybody else speaks a different language. So if you make a British film and you want to reach Germans, you cannot sell it to them in English. You still have to distribute it and dub it into what they can appreciate. So it's the same thing. Locally in Ghana, for us to actually build that film industry, we have to look at the distribution system. Once the distribution system is in place, banking, content, everything will follow.
And this distribution system is not necessarily just cinemas.
It's not just cinemas.
You've spoken about even the language.
Correct.
But what role would television and the media, because it seems to me as if we have over 100 TV channels.
Correct.
So even though the movie cinemas are not many,
correct,
could that become the distribution?
So
Would it work?
So we have a few different types of TV. We have free to air.
Yes, and then pay TV.
We have pay TV, and then we have sort of a hybrid.
Yes.
So I think multi-TV is you buy the box and then you get the free to air.
Yeah.
But those multi-TV boxes, the way they are all built, they're built the same globally. You can actually put a paywall in front of them.
Yes.
And watch movies at home.
Yes.
Right? So that's you don't have the hurdles of internet. And it's everybody will have a box in their home, and if they want to watch a movie, they literally just pay for the movie or they pay for the TV program and they watch. So that's one way to do transaction. The second way is obviously advertising, which is the free-to-air model. When you have too many TV stations, you tend to have a lot of noise in the market, right? So then the audiences do not know where to segment themselves or separate themselves, because the markets, the TV stations are supposed to by themselves figure out who their demographics are and feed to those demographics. So if you have a TV station that only deals with farmers, it's dealing with farmers, and you know that that's who they're dealing with. So anybody who is marketing, advertising, and doing business and farming is focused on that station. If you have a TV station that deals in religion, you know it's just focused on people who want religious content or family wholesome content. If you have a TV station that's focused on news, I mean, those things are very straightforward in that sense. Then you have the advertisers who pay you for that content.
So who's building this distribution? Is it the government? Is it the sector, private sector? How does it get done?
So we, one of the things that has happened is that there's been a shift, right? We've gone digital. We've moved from the analog world. We've moved into a realm where we are competing globally. Everything we do today is global. Everything we put on Facebook or social media, it's a global industry.
Yep.
So even though we're talking about trying to build a Ghana industry for local Ghanaian audiences, there's no way we can do it without looking at the regional West Africa and Africa and the globe. At that point, government has to step in. Why does government have to step in? Because anything we send out of Ghana is bringing in foreign exchange, and the government depends on foreign exchange, right? So then you have a non-traditional export. So your film content, your TV content, your documentary content is non-traditional exports. What other non-traditional exports do we know that we have in this country? We have pineapple, we have yams, we have tomatoes, we have coconuts. We have traditional exports. So we have our gold and we have our cocoa. What does government do with the cocoa industry every single year? They take $3 billion or they take $2 billion and they make $3 billion out of it. So they invest it into farmers, into buyers, into all of these infrastructure that brings that $3 billion back. It sits at Bank of Ghana. They change it to CDs. The dollar sits in Bank of Ghana. They change it to CDs, and there's people use CDs in the economy. The same thing with film. So if you look at a film industry that is global, I'll just give a rough example. If you have 150 filmmakers and the government invests $50 million a year, that would be about 150 filmmakers. That would be about $250,000 per film, right? 50 of those will make money. 100 of those will not make any money, right? But the IP of those 100 will feed into the next number of years. But 50 of them, 100 of them will be local champions, but 50 of them will be global. On that 50, if you do the multiplication of what it will make for 250,000 in terms of a series or a film, you can make this $1 million or $1.5 million when it's distributed global in multiple languages, right? So then if you do the math, how much is coming to Bank of Ghana for the investment into film locally, right? And each film would employ directly and indirectly at a minimum about 900 people. Wow. Indirectly and directly.
So the multiplier effect of this is actually much, possibly more than even cocoa or gold.
Correct.
But we don't tend to see it like this.
No, because we haven't. We only just recently had the National Film Authority, and even that was focused locally. And then with Juliet, they started looking at shooting Ghana for a global perspective for film. But most of what was done was to shoot.
But do we have locally the talent to benefit from the various spin-offs within the industry? So, for example, you need content creators, you need producers, directors, you need camera people, you need script writers, you need all those things. Is the ecosystem ready for takeoff?
The ecosystem is absolutely 100% ready. The thing about Ghanaians is we are technical. There's one group of Ghanaians who are extremely technical and one group of them who are extremely artistic, right? We tend to say the word creative arts. Because we use the word creative arts for so long, nobody looks at it with any seriousnness because it's just creative arts. But when you look at it as entertainment industry, right, people take a more serious look at it, and that is what literally it's a mind game. So as long as you start looking at it as entertainment industry, people think about it because they're going to earn money. Their kids are going to earn money. So then they say, okay, let me invest in my child's creative arts future. They would rather invest in like my parents would rather invest in their child's science and engineering future because it's their child. They're not going to go and make a mistake in terms of what they're investing in. Right. So first of all, the communication has to change. Right. The second part to answer your question in terms of is there people in Ghana? Yes, there are. So when we did Beast of No Nation, altogether about 5,000 people were employed This is including extras, including people from the army, people from the police, fire service, a whole bunch of
5,000 people.
About 5,000 people, right? We had almost 100 and something foreign crew members from London, South Africa, New York, and LA come work with the Ghanaian crew. That was the first time I worked with so many of the people who I've worked with over the last 10 years since that film. And when that film was done, they all got an experiential understanding of what it actually takes, because they all had most of them came from NAFTI, and they were all working in film before, but they had never worked in film at this level before. So what I did, and I told all of them, look, don't look at it as you being an employee. Create a company and be a vendor to what we do. So every time we are shooting a film, you are the vendor who's bringing in the art. You are the vendor who's bringing in equipment. You are the vendor who's doing all of these things. 10 years down the line, they're all big. All of them are big companies. All of them are well-established, very, very established companies. You guys know Art Direction House Ghana, Tome Tomete. He does every event you can think of, every film you can think of. Yao Ponsa, Sun Up, Sun Down. He also does a lot of films locally in Ghana and around West Africa. MK casting, they do. He's actually Uganda casting.
Just from one big event.
Just from one big. And I always try to use Beast of the Nation as because it was a conscious effort between Tony, Idris Elba, and I about what we could do in Africa, and let's take a chance with Ghana. And it was a chance. It was a $6 million bet. It was very expensive. We didn't have any money to do it. The original writers, Uzo from Nigeria, who wrote the actual book, and then Carrie, who was a screenwriter. They spent like 7 years and they couldn't raise any money to do the film. And when Idris came on, he cut his cost, his fee, and the film was made. And Netflix hadn't bought a film before in their lives. They had only been licensing content. And that was the first film they ever bought as a company.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's the first film they ever bought. And it changed the whole trajectory of the company itself in terms of originals. Now, they weren't part of the original concept of it, but when they bought it, they sort of had a way to build on their business.
There's a view that Nigerians are doing much better than us in film. Is that correct?
I don't think it's a competition. You see, I always hear these competitions between music and then film. There's no competition. It's just business, right? Nigerians have a large population. So if you are an investor who is going to put money into film, the first thing you say is, where, in terms of distribution, like I said, distribution is a key. So where are you going to put your money?
First? 250 million people.
Yes. So you say Nigeria. But then when you get to Nigeria, you find out Nigeria is a continent. It's a subcontinent. It's not 250 million people. It's 250 million people with different countries, right? So the distribution is not, it's just as complex as it is in Ghana or the rest of Africa. You have Yoruba, you have Hausa, you have Igbo, you have so many different languages in Nigeria. You have income structures in Nigeria that are worse than Ghana.
Yes.
So if people in Ghana cannot afford to pay for a ticket, the other people in Nigeria definitely afford to pay for a ticket. So you sort of have to look at the demographics and market dynamics to say, is this really better than what Ghana is? But because everybody's investing in there, they will get the amplification.
Wow.
The amplification is going to happen there first, whether it's music or whether it's film. But let's also numbers are important. If you have 250 million people, you are definitely going to get a musician out of there who excels. You're going to get a soccer player who excels. You're going to get...
It's just a number. That's how it works.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop anything. It doesn't change any... It doesn't change anything. It doesn't stop anything for what we are doing in Ghana. So if other people are investing in Nigeria and they say Nigeria is a market, why aren't we in Ghana who are industrious, who are making content, say, okay, well, Nigeria is a market.
Wow.
Right? Or outside of Nigeria... If Nigeria is the only market that everybody in Africa is seeing, so outside of Nigeria, what other countries can we as Ghanaian producers tap into? What kind of markets can we tap into? So we always look at Africa, the Nigeria, Ghana, all of those things. From a film producer's perspective, the content might mean something, but the audience doesn't mean anything. It's agnostic. It doesn't really matter where you are.
We've been talking to. Look, thank you. This is a crash program in film for me. Thank you for talking to us. Writer, director, producer, Danny Dama, with I think two key takeaways for me. It's a distribution game. It's not a competition. It's an industry. I think those are very powerful. Thank you. We hope to talk to you again soon.
All right, cool.
That's all we have time for today's edition of the On Air series. We've been talking about business of film with Danny Dama. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+.
We'll be pulling up and check out of the studio. In the meantime, you just heard Bernard's conversation with Danny Dama, film producer on the business of film. Very interesting conversation there. Some of your messages are in. We'll wrap up with them. Yes. In the meantime, if you're a JHS student in Ghana, you're a wordsmith with a passion for development, you have a way with words that captivates, Join the Literacy Challenge 2024 is a nationwide search for the most outstanding junior high school student in Ghana. You can win 10,000 Ghana cedis and a glitzy trophy. Here's the topic. In not less than 600 words, write about the role of the youth in shaping the future of Ghana. What changes would you like to see and how can young people contribute to making them happen? Script must be in your own handwriting, be endorsed by your parents. Add your full contact details. Saturday the 13th of July 2024 is the deadline. Kindly submit your entries to the front desk of Channel 1 TV or Citi FM. You can post alternatively by GP 14123 Accra Central. For inquiries, call us on 0205 973 973. Literacy Challenge 2024 is powered by Citi FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and sponsored by Ghana National Gas Company, A Life Soap, Fresh, Feel Fresh, Feel Alive. From the House of Welma Africa Limited, Fortune Spread for bread, yummy, delicious, always on point. Another quality product from Welma Africa Limited. Weeby Biscuit by M4 Foods and Prospectors Ghana Limited. Now at 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV, we mean business. Are you an SME owner or an aspiring entrepreneur? If so, then pay attention. Throughout the month of June, get ready for a month-long series of outdoor and on-air business education programs and events in the hashtag Citi Business Festival 2024. Stay connected with 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV as we bring you Citi Business Festival. It will be packed with all you need to know to boost your business skills. Week 1, we focused on tech startups. Week 2, agribusiness. Week 3, creative entrepreneurship, which is what we are doing this week. We are dissecting Ghana's creative economy, its character, and its untapped potential. Next week, we are having the general business management for SMEs. We'll be examining the Ghanaian terrain and providing the right anecdotes for business success. So join us on 97.3 Citi FM as we bring you the on-air series with interesting topics every Monday to Thursday at 9 a.m. on the Citi Breakfast Show. Catch our insightful Citi Business Festival roundtables on Channel 1 TV with experienced thought leaders at 30 p.m. Don't miss the Citi Business Festival Fora on tech, agribusiness, and creative entrepreneurship. Stay tuned and let's talk about everything business on the Citi Business Festival happening this June only on 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. For more information on the Citi Business Festival, call 0205 973 973 0205 973 973. Citi Business Festival 2024 is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV in partnership with Absa Bank and is sponsored by MTN Business, Gasol, AMG Fertilizer, and Sano Limited and Agri Impact Limited. So, Sky, I have a message for you.
Oh, talk to me. What's happening?
You see, you were accusing Joe Ampemdaku of non-performance.
Yeah, very well. Yes. Let me. Yeah, I can't wait. Yes, please. Let me know. Please. Yes, let me.
He said that very soon the performance will perform.
Very well.
So that you will feel the performance.
But you see this very soon business. Very
it's in the pipeline.
He's talking like a politician. Say that by 5 p.m. or by midday, performance would have been performed.
No, today is
this, I know. So that we add all of them. This one promises, challenge. This one, no.
There are some messages on roads.
Yeah, Bessa, bro. Happy birthday. I know you are a great man.
Yeah, man.
You continue to do great things.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're marketing the thing correctly.
It's very important.
Yeah, correct. We are happy with everything you are doing.
Fantastic.
You have to perform.
The only performance is what is left. I have a message here. We live in the city, yet we feel like we are in Domiabra. The road from Aviation to Shield is a death trap, not to mention to Lakeside. Our cars have to visit the mechanic monthly without fail. This is one of our very own complaining about Adenta roads in Adenta. Aviation to Shield, the Ashaliboche stretch. If you get to that end that was reserved for aviation, that's now being quickly developed. The potholes on that stretch it's mind-blowing, especially when you're getting closer also to the main road where you have the race junction from the traffic light all the way to the aviation, my goodness, it's terrible. A few occasions I've used that stretch and I said my prayers, pledged never to abuse my car that way. But for those who live there who cannot escape that stretch, it's torture for them. So the authorities, our friends in Adenta, are not happy about the quality of their roads. But Nathan, I'm seeing Ashalaja in the comments.
This one says, I don't drive on the road from my house to work and from work back home. I literally drive in holes right from my house to work. I'm talking about Ashalaja to Amasaman. But what makes it even worse is that this road was constructed and tarred just about 7 years ago. But right now, it's so bad, a stranger won't believe this road has ever been tarred. What kind of country is this? And it's true. We construct roads. Yes, we construct roads, and in a very short space of time, they go really bad.
That's wrong.
So I'm wondering, what is wrong? Is it that it's a poor mix of material, or the weather is so bad that it's not in Ghana that it rains. It rains in other places.
What is the quality
that's
of
that's what I'm saying. It rains in other places. So how come other countries have roads intact?
We have no shame as someone.
This one says, you are really doing well for us. I remember when the Ashaiman Masaman through Kojo Ashon. Achiaman Amasaman through Kojo Ashon Road was constructed. My brother questioned the quality of work done. He predicted the lifespan of the road to be a year. Kindly check the MC Clement Wilkinson's Facebook timeline around June 2020. The MC exhibited this road demanding praises. His supporters attacked my brother when he raised issues concerning the road. Within 6 months, the road is in more trouble. Is it that the contractors do shoddy work so that they can't continue their works? These contractors are causing financial loss to the state. Wilkinson is your friend. Could you imagine he developed his area in Sakina very well? And he said, God will punish them one by one. Dosire. He's very upset.
Well, we are all
George from Airport City.
Clement Wilkinson, I think shots have been fired from your head. And so please, you need something done about the situation.
George from Airport City says the contractor fixing the Mala Mover Pass has created something like trenches on the newly fixed asphalt. Vehicles have to slow down every 5 meters to cross those trenches. This one says, I laugh tire. See car owners complaining. Will come and ask those of us in Trotsky on the same road. A junior blade.
I don't want to imagine it.
Says the road from Pokwasi Agri Quarters Junction to Abensu, Mayra and its environs in a very poor state. The MP for the area, Moses Enim, should do something about it. He resides in the area and is very aware of the state of that.
Honorable Moses Enim.
Yeah, that's right. Good friend.
I think he's not going back to Parliament, right?
No,
he lost the primaries.
Yeah, he's a deputy minister now. For fisheries, isn't it? Honorable Minister, Deputy, please, your people are crying. Honorable Clement Wilkinson, good friend, please, I'm a resident and I know the frustrations of the people. You have to do something about what's happening there because it's unacceptable. This is not how Ghanaians should live. This is completely unacceptable. So I know you're trying your best, but you have to do a lot more because the elections that Ghanaians are threatening you with just around the corner. We're told about 1 million or so votes sit on that road from here to Saom. The people who use the corridor every day. I'm one of them. December 7 is coming. Continue. I'm causing Zoe to transfer her votes.
This is where Terminator will tell you that demonstration don't move me.
Really?
You should have said it. They are done with their transfer. So.
Oh really? Oh, they finished? Oh, I see. Okay. Well, they will do another one, right?
I'm not sure.
They have to do another one.
Well, it's top of the hour. And the news is coming.
We know what to do.
What are you going to do?
Wherever I vote, so is voting.
So, what's in the news?
Collective panic.
Wait. I will see any development recently.
Sorry?
Is there light at home first?
Yes.
But the road
occasionally goes
okay.
off. I mean, for those on the Malam stretch, The lightning situation hasn't improved. Yeah, but we are used to it now.
So, okay. Tell us what's in the news.
Coming up, Office of the President has